Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special club top shot tonight. Our OG members, Mike and myself, are going to hold it down. So we had to bring in some heavy hitters to bring us through with no Andy, no Jack, no CSU. I'm sure they're all doing everything they can. But you know who's actually doing everything they can? That's the Plungefather live from a hotel. It's Mike Zakarian from Team Huddle. It's time to do this here at Club Top Shot. Let's go. Damien, you can retire. Let's call up Steve Kerr right now. Tell him you're done. 3-on-2 game.
Oh, I'm an incredible basketball player. Awful shooter. Awful shooter.
Nasty jumper.
Would he ever gamble on shooting?
Here we go.
Let's see.
We got Jaw lighting up again.
On that note, let me go.
All right.
Club Top Shop going up on a Tuesday.
Love. Nerdbird says, Mike, the Baconator Zakarian is the best kept secret in Top Shot. Do you think that's because you broadcast at 5 a.m. every day, Mike?
Yeah, I think so. I think the earlier that was intentionally a good kept secret.
Hey, but you got, you guys are making some waves. I saw the Roham retweet the other day. You're getting on the radar.
Yeah, if you complain loud enough, somebody will retweet you. That's what we've learned. So success.
I should also say too, I assume you guys have talked about your Vegas plans already. I mean, I don't want to break Team Huddle news on this stream.
Yeah. No, we're going the first half though. I think we're just going to miss each other. We're going 7th to the 10th, I think. And I think we're doing games on the 8th. We're going to the games on the 8th. So
yeah, we are like directly not overlapping. It's almost impossible to do. And yet, I guess if you're a big Top Shot fan and you want to go out for the whole week, you get, first half with mom and then you get the second half with dad.
Honored to be mom.
Can you imagine a week in Vegas in fucking August? That would be brutal.
No.
Hey,
brutal.
we're doing it for the
So
fans,
hot.
Plunge. That's what we're
It's
doing
so
it for.
hot.
For the community, Plunge.
Speaking of doing everything you can, it's Plungefather from Parts Unknown. You said you were trying to rack up these frequent flyer miles. You did all of those analogies to Top Shot loyalty programs, and now you had to put your money where your mouth is.
I think that's the play. I think that's the only way that we have to do it. Can you hear my audio? Is that okay?
It's getting a little light.
It's a little wonky. Okay. I'm in a hotel room in Macon, Georgia.
Nice.
I can see the sports stadiums at Mercer University. That's like I don't know if I'm like technically on campus, but I'm right next to it. I'm here for work. But Mercer University, the only time I've ever heard of it, NCAA basketball, they're like, I feel like they're a quintessential like 12 to 15 seed because they usually win whatever conference they're in, or like they're one of the 2 or 3 teams that can win it on a given year. So that's Mercer Bears. That's the only thing I know. But beautiful bricks. It's wonderful. So yes, I'm very much like, getting all of the points, hotel points, airline points. I've been really thinking, can we set up like an ETH points system? I feel like this is a natural.
Is that you, Plunge? Is that you, Mike?
What?
Is that someone going to own up to the crash?
Oh, that was me. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of
I
beautiful
don't know if that's
bricks,
what you're talking about. Yeah, that was me.
Yeah. What's going on over there, Mike? I see. Do you have like
Cracking
medals?
beer.
You have medals out on your desk now?
I do.
Don't act like it was just they accidentally showed up there. Oh, funny you say. Let me show them and hold them up for the stream.
I'm not going to show them then.
No, yes, you are.
No,
Yes,
I'm
you
not
are.
now.
No, they are decorative. This
After
is
that
the
kind
rule.
of comment?
This is the rule. If you put it within your frame of camera, at any point, someone can ask you to go and show it. If Mike wants to ask me what this newlywed cookbook, I didn't even know we had this. This is frankly embarrassing.
Wow.
I don't actually want to play this game. I lied.
Show us the recipe. You have the Post-it note in there.
The Post-it note recipe. Was there a Post-it note in here?
No. I'm kidding.
Yeah. No. See, we share a thing. What do we have? The Guittard chocolate cookbook. I don't know. My wife's really into making chocolate.
Guittard. Come on.
Come on, yeah.
It's 2021 Plunge. Mike, show us the damn medals. You got to tell us what the medals are.
It's like really not that exciting. First, this is a Tommy Wilson card.
Okay.
NFT artist Tommy Wilson. That's kind of in the frame.
We're gonna ease into this.
It's my buddy's bachelor party in a couple weekends, and we're doing like beer Olympics and stuff like that. So we have gold medals and silver medals and loser medals, and yeah. This is for the last place team.
Okay, what are the activities for the Olympics?
It's a decathlon, and it's half like actual sports, half beer sports. So we're doing like home run derby, soccer penalty kick shootout, dodgeball, bocce ball, cornhole, beer pong, flip cup. I don't know, like usual can jam, usual things like that.
You are such a bro.
I don't know if it's the acoustics in that room, but those medals sounded weighty. It sounded like that. Those sounded like some heavy metals.
No, they're plastic. Yeah. They're plastic.
Okay, all right.
So there you go.
Pete, have you? I feel like you're a best man. Like, are you your buddy's best man? Like you've been like Mans has been the best man at like probably more than one wedding. More people think of you as their best friend than you think of them as their best friend.
Here's the thing. Always the groomsman, never the best man. I'm in what the friend territory of wedding parties.
So
like, those Twitter circles, you're in that second ring.
Yeah. You think I'm best man material?
Apparently the image and the persona that you project online is way more put together than your friends think it.
I think maybe the reason is because I'm too much of a liability for a speech. Maybe that's why I don't get asked.
I think that's a sweet spot though. Groomsman's a sweet spot. Like you're still there for everything, but just
very
like
little responsibility.
Exactly.
I think Plunge is attracted to you right now because of the jersey. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, Plunge, tell the people about this jersey because it is so fresh. I absolutely love it.
I'm like really sad because I think mine's at home. I'm in Georgia. My jerseys, I have multiple. My jerseys are in Madison, Wisconsin. I don't even remember which ones I ordered, to be honest, whether it was white, whether it was blue, whether it was black, whether it was pink. They give me a really like significant Miami City jersey vibes, which is great. It's a great darty shirt. It's a great like conversation starter to get your friends into NFTs. Hey, what's that Cool Cats jersey that you're wearing? You're like, well, funny you should mention that. It's because I'm the Soho House Club of Top Shot level collector. Clearly, it affords me these wonderful perks that we had to do on our own because Top Shot hasn't done shit for us yet. Well, I mean, they've done a little bit, but like, they're
a little bit of shit,
right? Like, but this is like literally this is the picture of hashtag make your own utility. Like,
there you go.
If they're not going to do it for you, like do it on your own, which is great. And we think more is coming, which is awesome. But you know what? We're not going to wait. We sold 300. And I say the Boomba or whatever the group is that set up the storefront for us. 351 jerseys got sold. That's the first edition. There were, Pete, I don't know if you saw this. Yours is one of 49. There are only 49.
One of 49 right here.
Yeah, There's only one of 49. This is cosmic level rarity.
Wow.
Pete.
I was worried that wasn't going to fit on the back, but these guys made it happen.
So I've got two in the mail or at home. I'm really sad that I couldn't wear it. I've got my hat. I've got my Lucky Maneki shirt. This is the same logo that's on the like jersey tag of your jersey. But yeah, 351. I did see Carlini today. Carlini was upset, I think.
I saw that.
Yeah, retweeting a lot of things, and he was like, "Yo, where's the jersey?" I'm like, "You're in the Discord. You just don't pay attention." Like, we
love when Carlini's upset. Love when he's upset.
It's good for the community. It's good for the community.
Well, I like
Thank you,
Carlini comes across as this, cynical, old veteran NFT trader, but he has a heart. He has a heart of gold in here. He got his man's coins framed. He's trying to get physical versions of a lot of this stuff. And I was truly shocked when he was interested in the Cool Cats tank, but people want to be a part of this stuff. I mean, Mike, you were a Cool Cats holder. Like, what's the deal? Where's your tank, dude?
Oh, so here's the thing. I think if Plunge wasn't on the stream, I probably would have just come on and worn the tank. I probably would have. But because Plunge is here, I almost feel it's disingenuous if I wear it because I was a Cool Cats holder. I was a Cool Cats holder when I purchased the jersey. I am no longer a Cool Cats holder. Guys,
you gotta send it back.
How do we handle this situation, Plunge?
Send it to Carlini.
I can't token gate your closet. Okay.
So you're saying I can keep it?
It is what it is.
I can keep it?
You know what? Did you complete the challenge?
I completed the challenge
Then
organically.
Hell yeah.
All right,
You don't have to be able to run the Boston Marathon every single day of the year after you complete the Boston Marathon to keep your medal.
God, this is the only thing I needed to hear. This is the only thing I needed to hear.
What's about to happen?
Let's
do
it.
Yes.
It was there.
Let's do it. Let's do it. It feels good.
So good looking.
Yeah, I feel like I immediately it's like a man face in a child's body, and I'm glad we get to bring that energy to the club tonight.
Mike, I'm having flashbacks. Some people might not know, but Mike and I know each other from way back doing improv comedy and also playing in a rec league basketball. Last time you and I were together wearing these, we were both getting ourselves in lots of trouble with local Boston area referees.
Yeah, you were getting technical fouls for being too aggressive on the offensive rebounds.
Mike, making his 3-pointer and leaving up his follow through for like an egregious 6 seconds. I'm like, Mike, what the hell are you doing?
You hit it. You let him know.
I'm glad
Mike, hang on. Yeah, so we all completed Cool Cats Challenge. I just got to kind of ask, you're one of the biggest collectors on the site, one of the most vocal thought leaders. I'm ready for the big reveal. Is it like off camera right now? Is the tank like, where is it?
Well, I'm not eligible for the club. For the Cool Cats.
Wait,
Nine Lives Lounge. Are we allowed to call it Nine Lives Lounge? Where are we on that? Can we call it Nine Lives Lounge or no?
We can't. It depends on who you are.
I'm MBL. Is it a yes or a no? Can I do it? Like, am I not allowed to?
Whatever you want. It is called the Nine Lives Lounge. I want to make it abundantly clear for anybody that missed the boat here, the back and forth on Twitter. We squatted on the Nine Lives Lounge Twitter handle solely for the purpose so that no one got it that wasn't TopShot related. I have the keys. We have the keys. I'll hand them over. The second that they're like, hey, we're ready to rock with this, we want to do content with it, hell yeah. That's why we exist. Like the Cool Cats Discord is called the Cool Cats Discord. We haven't renamed it. Like it's a unaffiliated, affiliated TopShot thing, like whatever. But like we're not trying to fake anybody out. We're just trying to like, hey, by the way, you finished this thing in late May? When did they finish it? It's been over a month and a half at this point. Yeah. Like we're doing stuff. We got giveaways. We got people talking about TopShot. Guess what? I'm about to complete the Embiid Hollow as a group because I got the booker. I got 8 other people collaborating with me from within that group to try and snipe one of these awesome hollow moments because we're making our own utility out of this thing. It's a group of collectors that are interested in the same things, that have achieved the same thing, that hold the same thing. And like, I'm not going to wait for TopShot to do something specific. They have way more hoops to jump through than we're able to. We're nimble. We can be active. MBL, you're not nimble enough. We saw it on the tennis court. We see it in the TopShot streets. It happens. It's okay. And I don't care that you're not in there. I wish you were, but like, it is what it is.
You think?
So I hear what you want. I hear what you want.
No, you're not a loser. Everybody can collect differently. And I wouldn't have expected anybody to like hop. It's an expensive bag to hold at whatever point. And if you don't think right now, like if you don't hold any Cool Cats, I don't even know what the number is right now. It's probably in between like 2 and 4K, somewhere in there, that like it costs to accrue all of these moments. If you don't think that the value of that is worth between those, like that's okay. It's a fair decision for you to make to not have to like opt into that piece. A lot of us did at a cost basis that was way lower than that, or we have a cost basis that's somewhere in between there, and we're just holding on for dear life and hoping beyond hope that something comes of it. And some has. I got a premium pack and a hollow pack because I was eligible for the drops because of the Cool Cats bonus. But like, there are going to be things, I think, that come down the line. MBL, I don't think you have to worry about any of the access stuff relative to like, can I get into this pack drop? Because your account is so valuable, but you might not be able to get into the Discord that has this sweet stuff that they're talking about doing. I don't know what it's going to look like yet. And it's not ours, but like the channel in the TopShot Discord. And at some point, if you decide, you know what, I really do want the Soho House membership, you might opt in. So one day, perhaps, but we know that you're not a big social club guy. You're like, you're more into the the Mona Lisa as opposed to the Thomas Kincaid paintings.
Wow.
Mike actually told me he would have completed the challenge if the Discord was called the Pussy Posse instead. And I was like, so I don't know if you guys have considered changing the name and getting Mike in there, but I know that's something you want.
What a pitch. What a pitch. The full court press coming on strong.
And you know what? I don't want to, and Mike, I don't know if you were in the Discord, Mike Zakarian. I don't know if you were ever in the Discord at any point and then you've since left or anything, but like vibes are good.
Yeah.
Yes, there's stuff that TopShot, and I'm sure we'll get into this. Like, Twitter is an interesting place. It is an interesting vantage point to look at community because it's not a representative example of the entire community. It's a representative example of the outwardly facing vocal community, which in and of itself is a similar vibe to Discord. And Pete, I know that you see this in the Deposit Kingdom. Like there are 1,000 people and 50 of them are active. Or 50 of them speak up because they're comfortable with it or whatever, right? Like, but it's a microcosm of the larger whole. That said, this microcosm, this group of people that most, a lot of them are holding bags to some degree. Like everybody's kind of cool about it. And it seems and feels to me, Mike, and I wasn't here in MBL. I wasn't here in September, October, November, December, early January, when the TopShot Discord was 1,000 or 2,000 people and everybody was collaborating and like, hey, can you send me this so that I can do this? And like, hey, let's have this really nuanced debate about trade tickets. Like, or, let me have this really thoughtful conversation without just like the total vitriol and just like the trolling that happens outside of it. But like, there's actually cool stuff going on in there. And that in and of itself is valuable to me. And I think that like, that's part of the reason why we see some of the success that we're seeing in other NFT projects more broadly is like people want their tribe. And this is a tribe, whether it's the tribe, doesn't matter. Like it's a tribe. And if you don't care to be in that tribe, that's cool. We don't give a shit. But like our tribe's pretty cool. We'll accept new people into that tribe if you hold the right things and unless you're a dickhead and we'll go from there. And Pete is in there. MBL, you have an open invitation. It does take a couple $1,000 worth of cool cats.
I'll be honest, man. The only thing that was holding me back from selling the cool cats was that type of community. Like it was a positive vibe. Like everybody was like pumping each other up. It was a good experience, and that I like the cool cats themselves. I was ready to move off of because I wanted to get some other stuff that I like. It gave me access to stuff I wouldn't have had access to, right? So I was like, okay, this makes sense for me. But before I did it, I went back and forth for like 3 or 4 days because I just am like, I'm gonna have to fucking answer to this. Like people are gonna. I already bought the jersey. And now I'm gonna have to answer that. People are gonna be like, oh, you gonna burn that shit now? Burn that shit. So and it happened immediately, and we're just leaning into it now. All right. So I got the okay from Plunge. I'm wearing the fucking jersey, guys.
Hang on, what's on the back, Mike? I want to see what you went with.
Oh, John, just my name. I don't have a promo yet, so I want to make sure I don't knock the mic over here.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's
the name.
All right.
Just the name.
Okay.
I used to think you were creative.
I think, yeah, you summited the mountaintop. You cherished the dirt for a while. Like, it's okay that you punted the dirt. Like, I don't.
Thank you.
You don't need my validation.
I mean,
everybody is free to do their own financial thing. And in fact, we would probably be all better for making our own financial decisions instead of living through like whoever tells us and like is shaming us for doing something. Whether it's your friends or these anonymous people on Twitter that like whatever, like if you're looking to be like, hey, Plunge is going to be mad at me, I don't give a shit, dude. Like I literally don't care.
Yeah. I mean, would we like you to be able to run that marathon every single day? Of course. Is that realistic? No.
Some of us can.
I mean, no way.
Mike, I could tell, I know the Mike look, and this is, I'm about to formulate a 7-minute monologue look.
Which Mike? We have to. We have to have
NBL.
different
I'm
names
sorry.
here.
I'm sorry. Zakarian and NBL. That's what we're rolling with.
Let's do
Okay.
it.
No, I don't have that many. I don't have much to say here. The loser medal is hanging me down. I need extra support. No, I mean, Plunge puts on a good pitch here. My biggest issue is my assets are all tied up in Top Shot already. I don't sell stuff. It's hard to plunge another $4,000 in. And I'm trying to buy furniture and stuff. So it's
What are we
right now.
looking at? An ottoman right now? Wraparound
No,
couch?
I'm in an empty house. That's why there's this echo.
That's why the echo.
There's not a single piece of furniture. There is not a single. I have a sheet laid out on the ground there. That's the extent of my furniture in an effort to help the echo.
Wow.
There you go. But Mike, you have to, even if you're not a part of it, you have to think that it's cool though, these sub communities that are cropping up around Top Shot, because this was an issue I felt like when we started doing Club Top Shot. Like, it was very fun to talk to you and Jack and Pete and Andy, and there's like this kind of wish fulfillment type stuff of like, I wish my account looked like that, not necessarily relatable to a lot of people. And for this to be a fun experience for more than the people who were in super, super early and made really smart investments, like, we have to have stuff like this to engage people and to have it be fun, because not everyone can just go look at their account value and then and sit back and be like, yeah, I love Top Shot. That's just not the reality of the situation.
So I think the Plunge made a lot of good points there. The one that resonated most with me there was kind of taking it back to the old glory days of Top Shot, where there were 1,000 people in the Discord and everyone knew each other and everyone collaborated and strategized on challenges and did kind of easy rentals and like, here, you're not doing this challenge, throw me this one now, I'll get you back in 2 weeks when we were doing a different challenge. Like, that sort of tight-knit environment and community. That was really hard to replicate based on where Top Shot evolved to throughout 2021 and as it exploded in January and February. And I like the idea of these little sub communities, people who have some sort of affiliation or something they have in common. And in this case, it's the Cool Cats Marathon. And I think that's a particularly interesting one, because it's something people really did have to stick it out and grind it out for, I don't know, what was it, 2 or 3 months?
Years.
Yeah, I wish it was 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
I don't know how long it was. I don't know.
My first pack was like a stress test base pack. I think we were going through this before. I joined Top Shot on January 20th, and like I got a base pack or 2 maybe in a stress test drop before Cool Cats 1, which was the pack drop that had 5,000 moments times 5, so there was 25,000 packs. They got through 4,000 packs in that drop before it shut down because of chaos. Like, it was like, oh, nobody could get in. There were people who were sniping a bunch of stuff. Like, oh man. And they just like basically put Top Shot on pause for 2 weeks and didn't have any supply going out. And I got lucky enough that like I think at that point there were roughly 10 or 11,000 people somewhere in there that were like active and engaged. So they said, hey, if you were online and in the queue or whatever, you get a pack. But then we'll rally around the remaining 10,000 packs to give out to the 80,000 people or whatever that wanted them. So I ended up getting 2. So I had 2 of the 5 just out of packs. And that's far. Oh, is Jack at the game?
Yeah, he's trying. Like, the internet's really crappy, but this.
Oh my God!
Highlight that.
No, he just dropped off. Jack, come back. All I could see was Jack's like glitchy. He's wearing like a comically sized purple styrofoam cowboy hat or something.
What team is that for?
I seen the Suns.
Yeah, he's in Phoenix. I hope he's staying local.
Jack was just yelling, "Make your own utility," while wearing a giant sombrero. We'll see if he tries again. This is what happens when Jack still has access to the link. I should have gated this one. Sorry, that was very distracting. Okay. What was being said?
No, I was saying something about like the early days of Discord and everything. So like I came in right at the tail end, or like right at the tail end of where it was small to where it got really big and got out of hand. And I mean, I sympathize with their team. It is super difficult. I manage, right, like with Chugs and a couple other people the Cool Cats Discord, which has 1,000 members. And even that, like, I have to chime in multiple times a day. Like, if there are people that are getting a little testy, like, and Pete, you see this too with the Deposit Kingdom, like, you have to keep a pulse on things. Yes, you delegate to other people, but like, could you imagine that at 100-fold? Like, it just, and you're expecting Usman or El Dumbo or like a handful of people or MBL in a referee role, right? Like, to sort of wrangle the masses in some way. And not everybody has shared common interest. And the larger that these things get, and the larger that this Top Shot ecosystem gets, the harder it is to maintain a shared sense of experience. And that's okay, because it means that there's so many different people that can experience it in different ways. But what it means is there's not a cohesive vision and a cohesive like experience for everybody to share in, or anybody that opts into sharing in that, because you can't satisfy every need. And MBL, we've talked about this like a bunch of different times, that like Top Shot cannot be all things for all people at all times. And that's okay. And if you're frustrated by it because it's not for you right now, that's okay too. But like, what's really frustrating is when they try to make it and try and force the 100,000 or 200,000 or 500,000 people back into the magic that they had when it was 1,000 or 5,000 people, and like they captured that in a bottle, and it's impossible to put back in. And we just have to, like, at least in my opinion, from the Cool Cat side of things, like, I'm willing to take that on for you, right? And there are groups of people that are going to take that on for you, and you don't have to be the community central hub for every single person. You need to put out good content. Your tech needs to be solid. You need to be really thoughtful about the way that you handle the marketplace. You need to be exceptionally forward about how you handle controversy. I think that's a big one, right? Like, and transparency. You don't need to give away all the secrets. To LG's point on the first mint earlier this week and last week, like, it's okay to have surprise and delight and to keep secrets and to like give cool experiences to people, but you don't need to be the central hub, central community for Top Shot more broadly when it's such a large thing. It's okay to outsource that to other folks or other groups like the Cool Cats or like the Snipers or whoever else that runs a Cool Cats or, a Top Shot focused Discord.
Zakarian, what's the kind of feedback you're getting from, because you have a loyal crowd tracking the Monday morning marketplace? Are those guys still hyper engaged with interacting with the marketplace? Is their patience waning? Like, where's your finger on the pulse there?
It's kind of been fun watching people pivot to different things. Like, I think people have been really leaning into like challenges and thinking like what's coming next. And what's been kind of funny is I'll shout out username actually Jeb Bush in our Discord, who was basically being like, we need to be scooping up Bobby Portis, we need to be scooping up Jay Crowder, we need like all of these guys who are then now being used most likely for these quests tonight. And so he's like dancing around in the Discord right now taking victory laps. But it's been cool seeing how like people are finding different ways to engage, because we're like, it's not as fun to just like refresh your account valuation anymore, right? So they're finding other ways to be fun with it, and it's things like that. It's like figuring out challenges, it's figuring out quests. It's like the LaMelo MGLE conversation now is taken on so many different shapes and sizes, because they're like, actually, if you just own every single rookie that's ever been on the site, you're guaranteed a LaMelo. Which is, like stuff like that's being thrown around. Yeah. Listen, we've never been wrong. No. So I it's been fun seeing people pivot in that direction and getting weird with it.
MBL, I mean, do you think there's a responsibility from Top Shot to help kind of foster these sub communities, knowing that everyone can't have the shared experience now, and there is a lot of segmentation throughout the community? Or is it one of those things like we see this in DFS? Like, DraftKings isn't doing any like community stuff. It's all the content sites have their own sub communities. People feel they're a part of that tribe. Is that just what the onus is on us to build those out?
So I think you and I, Pete, were part of a conversation where we kind of discussed, should Top Shot have a Discord at all? So to your point just now, why does Top Shot need to manage the community side of things and the communication side of things in that manner? Have an email blast. Have a Twitter account that you have to follow that gives that information. Have an announcements page on the website. What purpose does the Discord serve at this point? And is that, TopShot's way of saying, all NFT projects do a Discord, so we should too? Is that them trying to say, we think things like DraftKings and Topps sports cards and all other products like this should have their own Discord, and that's the way to do it? And kind of what purpose does it serve? And whatever purpose they're trying to serve, are they doing it well? And I think it's become a bit of an unwieldy mess. And that's what happens when you try and put 400,000 people into one Discord channel, 395,000 of whom are down a decent amount of money. It's going to be a messy situation. And I don't know if it's a productive thing for them to continue working with. I don't know if there are grander visions where the Discord serves a different sort of purpose. I do know that when you look at other NFT projects, one of the utility aspects is often Discord access. That, the whole 9 Lives Lounge thing, I think, someone correct me if I'm wrong, the militia cat thing, if you're a certain rank for your cat, you get access to a different Discord. I don't know if that's true. Someone told me that. I don't know if it's true, but just anyway, NFT projects, one of the things they offer is access to more exclusive Discords. And maybe that's something that TopShot thinks is in their future, that they'll have a cosmic Discord, something that Roham's floated before, or you hold 6 different sets or more Discord, and that people will value that over time. So maybe they want to keep that option open, and it's just something else down the line. I don't know. I think you can argue either way. I think, what it seems like we're all concluding here is that it's probably more trouble than it's worth. It leads to a bit of a toxic environment, and maybe people are better off finding like-minded individuals who they can vent along with, they can joke along with, they can strategize with, and form little pods and little cool cats communities and team hodls and deposit kingdoms and floaty.
Well, what I would say too is, like, it is a lot of work for TopShot to organize that. And truthfully, we have a better finger on the pulse of these sub communities than they do. So what TopShot needs to be doing, they need to go to Plunge in the Cool Cats Discord and be like, we have the tech, we have the back end information. How can we team up with you to make this really cool? What is the airdrop we can do for your community in conjunction with that? Like, that's where I think really the bridges should be built, because we're laying the groundwork for that stuff. And we have a better finger on the pulse of what people want and what they might enjoy. And they have the utility, the resources to do that. Like, that's where that marriage needs to happen.
And that also feels like a personal connections being made too, versus like going to the sports section of a Facebook, right? Like just searching sports and then being like, oh, let's see who I can connect with today. Right. Because that is what it feels like sometimes. I can't even say that because I don't remember the last time I popped into the general on TopShot, but I imagine that's what the vibe is still like. But the idea of like reaching out to individual groups, being like, hey, we see you out there, we know you guys are doing some fun stuff, here's how we want to not reward, but like communicate with you and engage with you, because I think that's what people are looking for. And not that it's the exact same thing, but I think there was a lot of frustration leading up into this week being like, hey, how come it was so quiet leading up to the finals? And I know like every content creator did a podcast on that this week, but and then like the quest came out tonight and everyone was like, yeah, here we go. So it's just like, I think it is finding ways of engaging people. And maybe it's not being like, hey, tell us every single problem you've had and we'll show you how to fix it. But it's more of being like, hey, guys, go play with this thing. Go play with that thing. I think that's what people are looking for. So it's not just like, hey, let's go look at the marketplace and see how upset I am. And let's find other ways to play with it.
So they do have, within the TopShot Discord, they do have a content creators Discord, which I don't know. Mike and Plunge, I think you guys are in there. I don't know who's in there. Yeah, I'm in there. So I'm in there. I'm not a content creator, but I was a ref, and Mike, I retired.
Mike, you're a beautiful content creator.
Yeah, you're. I don't know how many people could say, "Hey, I've been a consistent guest on a Twitch or a YouTube stream for the better part of 6 months."
Yeah, you're content,
how many people
man.
could say that? Could you count it?
You're
MCL.
You don't get paid. You're not a paid content creator, but you are a content creator.
This is how I pay myself.
Yeah, use floating.
I pay myself through floating. But in the content creators tab, they do, I think, try and communicate with the various community leaders of the platform and of the TopShot ecosystem. And so I think they do put some effort there, but it's hard to get that personal touch. Similar to Mike, your comment about not popping to general that often. Like I don't know how often the content creators are in there, and maybe it's something they should have like a weekly office hours. And I don't know. It's not unlike a lot of like corporations where it's like people feel like it's impersonal, so they. The feedback they get is it's impersonal, so they set up 2 happy hours, and everyone's like, "Oh, I want to go home and be with my family," and so they say no more happy hours, and people say it's like I'm coming to jail when I come to work, and it's like, all right, what do you want us to do? Do you want happy hours? Or you don't want happy hours?
We're accustomed.
No, I know, but it's kind of like they set up the content creators. They're trying to offer an outlet for people to communicate, and people don't really use it. So then maybe they'll set up a weekly thing where some of the Dapper representatives can communicate with people, and people will kind of be like, I don't really want to do that. It's not how I want to spend my time, and yeah. I don't know. It's never an easy answer.
I totally agree with you. And I think so there's a distinction to be made between we're building with and we're building for, right? Mm-hmm. Like back in December and before, and even to an extent into January, there is very much a collaborative feel of we are building with you, right? And then as the user base expands so massively to people that are less tech savvy, less crypto savvy, less whatever, right? And a huge focus of their last 2, 3, 4, 5 months, as stated by Roam and others, is like new user onboarding. That's their metrics that they measure their performance against are related to how engaged new users to the site are. Like when they're building for people as opposed to building with them, or at least more focused on building for than building with, because you've done the vast majority of the legwork that you need to do with, then it becomes less important to maintain that constant level of communication, which again, it's okay. Like this is a fundamental, like brand new space. And this is a brand new path that they're paving. Like this hasn't happened before in this specific situation. And I think if they're not listening to me and saying like, oh, we're going to take Plunge's advice, but like if they were looking to me and they were saying, hey, you get to direct us here, I say, you know what? Once you say beta's done, cut the Discord off or cut the vast majority of it off so that it's only focused on XYZ things that we can manage really well and that we can deliver content for really well. And then route all of the other stuff, whether it's, complaints, help desk tickets, support structure, route it through the content and structures that you've built. Right. So whether that's the help desk articles that you write and the blogs, whether that's the actual help desk process where you're submitting tickets to get support, whether it's a chat line, right? Like we see chat down there, like, okay, someone can communicate with you and work through your problems, but like, you don't need to have anybody can chat at any time with everyone for this thing. I will say, MBL though, one thing when you're talking about, and Mike as well, when they're talking about like, going out into the community, one thing about the Cool Cats Discord that's really cool, and big ups to him, Luke El Dumbo in the Discord, who's the community manager. He's in our Discord, even though he's not allowed to hold any of the Cool Cats. There you go.
That's for Luke. Luke
gold
is
medal for
unreal.
Luke.
Yeah.
And every 3, 5, 6 days, however long, like he'll come in and just hold court for like 3 hours and answer questions and like deflect criticism, and not deflect, but like answer to criticism on behalf of the TopShot team, answer questions, present alternative viewpoints to particular things that are informed by the team's views, which is super helpful, right? Because we can't have access to the CEO all the time. We can't have access to Jacob all the time. We can't have access to Alan all the time. We can't have access to all of these people that have important functions in a very large company that is doing a lot of different things and trying to get a lot of different initiatives off the ground. But like that is well received in our Discord, and he handles it super well. And a lot of that too is like that back and forth of here's this, the Soho House people, whatever, like we can like interface with them at that level to the same degree that you can in the content creators channel, or to a lesser degree in some ways in the whatever they call it now. What's the Century Club, or what was
100 Club?
No, that used to be the thing. What's it called? Courtside, which is like whatever. So anyway, there are ways that can happen. I don't think it needs to happen at the like massive scale.
Do we think Soho House is getting pissed?
Does anybody know anybody in Soho House? I've never heard of it before.
I've walked by some people who are in it. That's all I can tell you.
I have like friends of friends who are in it who I've heard it's cool through a few degrees of separation.
I could just see the leader of Soho House being like, you guys gotta stop comparing a Discord to what we're doing in here.
So someone in the chat, Pete Overzet,
Yes.
someone in this chat just said that the Cool Cats NFT floor is 0.15 right now. Is that real? I've been on the stream for 40 minutes.
I'm not
0.1.
You know what I'm gonna do?
A little bit ago.
I'm also shout out to Dangy Wing in our Discord. He created a bot in the Club NFTs channel. You can do / floor and pull up any or all the relevant NFT projects, pick it, and it'll tell you the current floor for that project. So I will head in there right now and try this out. But yeah, we're gonna need to talk about these Cool Cats NFTs because I have a lot of questions about these, even though I have one. All right, I'm gonna do floor here.
While Pete's doing that, any any thoughts on TopShots stuff? Like, I'm excited about the finals. I think the finals pack is gonna be cool. I'm like very pumped for that. I hope, I think getting a Booker or a CP3 holo or a Giannis holo or excuse me, not holo, a legendary of the finals. I think those are gonna be very, very cool. I think longer term.
There it is for you. Cool Cats NFT floor 0.149.
An hour ago, just for reference, an hour ago when I was eating dinner across the street at a Michi's, which I think is a chain, was having some chicken wings. It had just cracked 0.1. It's been hovering around 0.08, 0.9, it gets up towards 1 and it kind of shifts back down, back and forth, back and forth. The floor is at 0.149 right now.
So tell the people what's going on here, because I saw these going on and I thought it was just this serendipitous thing where I'm like, holy shit, what are the odds a Cool Cats NFT comes out after all of our Cool Cats stuff? But you're telling me this was a premeditated NFT to ride the cold waves of Nine Lives Lounge?
No. So the story on this goes. Okay, so I think if you walk away with nothing from this conversation other than this point, it is that Klon, who is the artist, the illustrator that did Blue Cat and all of its derivative forms in the Cool Cats NFT project, has been illustrating Cool Cat or Blue Cat for 10 years. This is his baby, for lack of a better term. It's his creation. And they have been planning this project for not an insignificant amount of time. And they have heard of TopShot, but had absolutely no idea, absolutely none, that there was a very significant portion, I think it's significant, a significant portion of TopShot that was focused on Cool Cats. I literally had never heard of this project before the day that it launched. I think it launched at 8 or 9 a.m. on whatever day it was. It's the second or the third. I'd literally never heard about it. Someone posted about it in the other NFTs channel and whatever I'm in. And I literally jumped into the Discord and I was like, cease and fucking desist. We are the Cool Cats with a Z. Their Cool Cats Discord is Cool Cats with an S. I was big man. I was like, no. And in hindsight, probably shouldn't have been, but I ran in there thinking on the back of all this, okay, 10 exactly, Pete, 10,000 avatar NFTs, oh my god, these motherfuckers, they're doing this, they're disparaging the Cool Cats name. We're gonna get dragged down under the water by this, and everybody's gonna think it's us. It's not us. This is bullshit. Blah 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 blah. So I hop in there, and I'm like, what's going on? And right at that moment, literally in the general chat, they were like, yeah, so we were at 0.06 for our minting price and we're going to lower it to 0.02 because you know what? It's not about the money and we just want to get the art in everybody's hands. And this is supposed to be fun. And we're not trying to make $1 million. And we heard your feedback from a variety of different folks. Cole, who was behind the My Fucking Pickle project, he was a big voice in that. And after 300 or so mints, I think it was they had minted 370 or something. They were 0.06 down to 0.02. Let's go. And within 8 hours, it sold out because everybody hopped in and was like, wait, this is like a little different. It's a little whimsical. It's like cartoony, but it's not, it doesn't feel, and I can only speak for myself. To me, it doesn't, and obviously like I'm a little bit invested. I'll tell you about my.
Is this financial advice?
No, it's not.
Okay.
I want to watch
Plunge.
Tell us. Try to explain why this is different than every other Avatar project out there.
No, I'm not saying it is different. I'm saying it felt different to me as I was in there because of like the way the art is presented. And it's not like, and I don't want to disparage any of the projects because I know that all the devs and the artists work super duper hard on them. And it can be really easy to be like, that thing sucks. And like, oh, that's fucked up and it's scuffed and all this stuff. Like, I don't want to disparage anybody publicly, but like, it was very clear that this character that's in this Cool Cats thing is like not, it's a character independent of the 10,000 different combinations of it. And we had, so just happenstance, we happened to have Klon and another member of their team on our stream on Thursday, basically like explain this thing, like this is funny, haha, Cool Cats. And they came on for half an hour and it was like, oh, like we heard the backstory and we heard some narrative and we heard like how they came about and like what they were doing and why they were doing it. And it doesn't matter that it's a 10,000 year plan and it's the history of NFTs and all this shit. It doesn't matter. Like they're cute fucking cats and the team is cool and the Discord's cool. And regardless of what the roadmap is, like, it's just fucking cool. And that's like, that's so few and far between right now with all of these different projects that are out there that like this one felt different to me. Again, to me personally, I'm not telling anyone you need to feel differently about this specifically, but like to me personally, it felt different. And I'm like, this is cool. I'm into it. So anyway, long story short, they minted at 0.02. The next day it was like July 4th or the evening before July 4th. I noticed, I was like, oh, cool. Like they're above mint cost. And like the floor was at 0.025 at that point. And I tweeted something out at like 11:45 at night on the 3rd and it started going. And it wasn't just my tweet. There were lots of people that came in and bought up the floor. There were people that were buying 30 and 40 of these things at a time. At one point, Daryl Morey came in and bought one that it like just took off. And it got up to a point, and now it's like it's settled there and it's been there for a while. It's like 0.08, 0.09. And I don't know what happened in the last hour and a half, but it was a pretty steady floor at 0.1 ETH, which is, I don't know, how much is that, like $200, Mike?
0.18, yeah, like 220 maybe right now.
220. So like, you know, as opposed to 40 or whatever it was to mint it.
230, yeah.
Yeah. So like, and it just kept rising and rising and it's held there. And all these people are consolidating around it. The market congealed around it. And it's just like a bunch of people with relatively cool vibes, like that really like these stupid cool cats. And I don't want to say stupid because I don't want to disparage Klon, but like they're kind of just silly and that's okay. Like that's part of it. So yeah, that was me going off.
No. Yeah. And I like to reflect the pulse of the chat here. I mean, most people's reaction is this is all the other Avatar projects. They're cute. They're silly. The earlier
the chat is not having this.
No, but like I kind of get it, right? Because these Avatar projects keep coming and some of them appeal aesthetically to you more than others. Like the apes, like I think the community is so cool. The art just does not appeal to me. So like first, it wasn't a thing for me. But then you come along in some of these, like I thought the craniums look cool or whatever. So all of these have the same thing. It's does it look cool to you? Did you get in before it 10x? But to me, what is actually interesting with this Cool Cats is do we get some synergy with the NBA Top Shot Cool Cats? Is there some kind of mashup stuff we can do here? Because that's when it actually gets cool.
Yeah. And as someone who doesn't collect too much with this stuff, like my brain, it just doesn't hit. I think it's so dope that everyone else is pumped about it. And if they're not pumped about it, they're just like making a ton of money about it. But my brain, it's not connecting. However, if all of us, like the Cool Cat one is the only one that I was like, I don't know, maybe, but then I sold my Cool Cat, so I bounced out of it. But I do like that idea. The idea of like, we're going to see some crossover or something like that.
Yeah.
That's intriguing.
So I have no idea. I don't think the folks on the Cool Cats team, and I could be wrong, that are not like actively engaged with anybody from the NBA Top Shot team, but I'm a mod in their Discord and like I'm engaged.
Yeah.
And if we want to do something together with them, guess what? We're going to do it. And Pete, like guess what? They're super generous, and we've got 2 to give away. Like, we can just give them out right now. Like, I don't know how you want to handle it, if there's a form or whatever, but like they said, hey, we want to expand the audience. We want to, bring more people into the fold here. And to someone in the chat that was like, it's 0.2. No, it was 0.02. Like,
Wow.
It's like 20 or $30 when it was minting or whatever it was.
So you say you get 2 of them?
Yeah, I think we got 2 of them.
And NBL, you don't have one yet, right?
I don't.
No, all right, that's good.
You just
That
want to
works
give one
out.
of those 2 and just shut down the stream. We all go home.
I don't think
I can
that's
keep
how it
watching
works.
Too Hot to Handle on Netflix with my wife.
All right, so this is a good time to say, Pete, do you think it was a good idea to schedule this in the middle of the NBA Finals? By the way, Game 1, we have not addressed that yet. And now you say if the stream ends early, you're going to go watch Too Hot to Handle?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure like I've let down any, airs of me watching the NBA long ago, Mike.
The finals.
I will tell you the Suns are up 45-38. We are monitoring it over here.
I'm monitoring as well.
I get all of my playoff updates from Jack logging onto the stream for 1.5 months.
Yeah. Plunge. I've been on this stream for a number of months, as you guys have highlighted. That was the biggest bag pump I've ever seen by far. Not in a bad way. Not in a bad way.
I'm happy to disclose. Like, I literally own one of them at this point. I gifted one to Alan Falcon because he's been a cool friend of mine, and I minted 3 total at the point of whatever. So like 0.06 I put into this. I gave one of them to Alan. I sold one of them for 0.06, which was a nurse hat, which is like kind of rare. And my Twitter avatar right now is the one that I have left, which is listed for sale. If someone wants to buy it on stream, go for it. Have at it. But like, I'm not trying to like just, I'm going to go make my money or whatever. Like, if someone bought it right now and proved it to me, I would go right now and buy another one that was like less rare, because I still want to be involved in their group. Like, I don't care that I have the super rarest. I don't care. You know what I don't care, MBL? I don't care that I have the S1 John Morant and I've got 30 of them or 50 of them or 180 of them or however many. I just want to be involved in the community, and I'm okay like taking profits on the way up, so that if there are things that I can do with that money, like pay for my golf trip next month, great. But you know what? I'm not sitting here like, hey, go buy my thing, my specific one, whatever.
Well, I will just say too, I think what's happened, and we've seen it ever since CryptoPunks, right? Like, those are inaccessible to most people, and why the apes had such a massive success is because it did provide this place for a lot of people who wanted to be a part of an avatar community project like this, a realistic entry point. Now that one has gotten out of hand with its floor. Now we need some of these new ones. And so I think it's just like teasing apart how much of it is the, NFT flippers getting in there, trying to just flip on all these, and how much of it is people just trying to find their NFT project that they can connect with. And then they feel like they're a part of it and got in early, which you can't untangle the getting in early part from it. The earlier you get in, the funner it is.
I also want to say, for everyone who's watching who doesn't know Plunge is not the type to pump his bags. That wasn't a serious comment. He's clearly passionate about the project, and he owns a couple of them. And
I own one of them.
All right, one of them. That was not a serious comment. It was just a funny 5-minute rant saying this is an unreal project.
It's not unreal. It's not unreal. It's just like, in my opinion, it's a little different. That said, it is not the Picasso or the Da Vinci that you can put away in the vault and like let hang. Nor is it intended to be. I don't think. It's supposed to be fun.
And they get there. Punks weren't that initially either.
Yeah, but the history of the punks matters, right? That's the long-term value proposition of the punks, right? Is that it's the first. Well, not because they're cool art. Because if you told me like, hey, these were worth $5, I'd be like, that's fucking stupid. But it's worth a lot of money.
It's good art, Swant. It's good art.
Okay, now you're pumping your bags.
Really good art.
I will say, like, if the Cool Cats NFTs, the path to them having like longevity in sticking around is again this concept of the Cool Cats NBA Top Shot community like continues to grow and be really robust and doesn't go away and finds new things. Like, at that point, I could see the two kind of tides carrying each other.
You're saying we get another jersey down the pipeline?
Little guy. So you're saying, wait, did you say it's the same artwork as this guy? Or is that a different artwork?
That's a different one. That was
Okay.
Someone in the Cool Cats Discord. Project Pat, I think is his name. It's something Pat. He came up with the Lucky Maneki and then also the icon in the Discord. But
Where did you guys
different
get the
group of
jerseys
people.
made?
Say again?
Where did you guys get the jerseys made?
That's
Like, what was-
proprietary information
Oh,
for
okay.
Cool Cats holders.
There was a company called Boomba, I think. And Chugs and Bugs was the guy that he like spearheaded it and was like, hey, let's make this a thing, and contacted them and put it all together and worked with them on Project Pat. Thanks, Chugs. He's in the chat. So he did all the legwork on it and like went back and forth with them a bunch of times on the proofs, and at one point all the sublimation on the jersey was like cat scratches, which is kind of cool. If you notice, Mike, in the actual trim of the pink, there are cat scratches in there. There's a nice little.
Oh, hell
You
yeah.
get a full,
Hey,
you get a full screen piece?
Yeah, let me see. I didn't even notice this.
Zoom in right here.
Whoa. Look at this.
Can we get in? Are you guys seeing it?
Oh, okay. All right.
A little bit, not
little
quite,
bit.
but that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try a little bit more. No, it's not going to work.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
you
yeah,
guys see it.
yeah.
There we go.
We're calling the Boomba logo cat
I'm
scratch.
keeping the camera like this the rest of the way out.
Yeah, please do.
Huge facts.
But the merch looks great. The jerseys look great. The hat looks great. There's great merch throughout this stream right now.
All right, Plunge. I'm gonna put a Google form in the chat.
Pete just let that go. I can't believe that. That was very
Hang on,
subtle.
it
NBL. That was very good.
Floaty spin. He was
It
trying
was
to
very
pump
good.
floaty.
Mike's always. I mean, yeah, the integrated product placement on this show is out of control now.
I'm gonna have floaty posters. It's gonna be everywhere.
Okay, Plunge. I'm going to circulate this Google form, but I want like some barrier of entry. I need like some question on here. I like a 500-word essay on what the Cool Cats NFTs mean to you. Like an artistic.
What's your favorite? What's your favorite Cool Cat trait? I don't know. There's a bunch of them.
Okay.
There's cool. There's apples on heads. There's like sushi ones. There's arrows.
Is there a rarity chart? Like,
Yep.
can we? And like, how many of them are of the rarest one? Like, what's the rarest one, and how many are there?
Yeah. So if you go to coolcatsnft.com and feel free to share it. I don't know if you guys have access to that. Coolcatsnft.com has like the rarity table. There's 150-ish that are in the yellow tier of exotic rarity or whatever, and then there's 500 or so that are in like the purple tier. That's like a 9, and then it goes like 8, 7, 6 down through, and actually the most are in like the 4, I think the 3-4 range, and then even the 2-1s are actually more rare than the 3-4s, but it's all like trait combination stuff that this sort of correspond to various rarities. Interestingly, I will say this, so there's a couple traits in particular that like there's been a huge rallying cry around in the same way that I imagine MBL with punks, like your punk has a beanie on it, right? Like the one, at least
it has a knitted hat.
Knitted hat. So like you perhaps, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, like you identify with that, and when you see other knitted hats punks, you're like, knitted hat punk, like cool.
Yeah. You write under their tweets and you make a connection. Yeah.
Right. Or if you've got a beanie, you like, oh, this, that, and the other thing. So anyway, with the traits and stuff, like there are people that are like kind of congealing around them. The Squirtle glasses is like the big one. If you get one with Squirtle glasses, that for whatever reason, that particular trait is massive. And then the one that I have is Deep Sea Orange, which is like a deep sea helmet. There's only like 50 of them, but like they're kind of aesthetically like interesting, and they look kind of funky with other combinations of like their shirts. So there's some of them that look like, even though they're super rare, they're like really off because they're, or at least in my opinion, they're really off because it's like, oh, it's a deep sea helmet and like a gorilla suit. Like, what's going on there?
That's like the 6 attribute punks are like that. It looks like a mess, but they're rare.
Yeah, exactly. So it's sort of like there's a balance between like, hey, this is super rare on paper because it's like you combine all the traits and there are X number of things, versus like this is aesthetically pleasing. So like the deep sea helmet, for example, if you have a deep sea helmet and a deep sea suit, there's only like 1 or 2 of them that, even if they're like less rare in the grand scheme of things. Long story short, like I think there's something probably for everyone trait wise. And I don't know, there's actually, Pete, I don't know, can you pull up the Rarity Tools website?
What's the
Rarity,
URL?
Rarity.tools. And there's actually like a cool cast thing. You can kind of see some of the, just to show a couple of the different traits and stuff.
Rarity.tools?
Yeah, Rarity.tools. And then you can filter it by project. I think it's probably Rarity.tools/coolcats or whatever.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Oh, this actually reminds me of a project I'm seeing when I immediately wait here. The real CryptoPunks are probably the most like offensively looking project I've ever seen. Have you guys seen these?
No.
They're so bad. This is the opposite of a pump.
Oh,
I just have to show, like all these like metallic like versions there. They really give me nightmare fuel.
This
like,
this looks like an SNL sketch right here.
like what the hell is this?
These are all Pete Davidson.
Who is the market for this?
They're asking for 100 ETH on OpenSea.
And for
who's
reference,
making their avatar?
Jesus Christ.
It's Vitalik.
Yeah.
And for anybody that's asking in the chat, like if you don't have a MetaMask wallet set up right now, that's okay. Like if you win the thing, don't worry about it. Like get into the Discord. We'll work with you to set something up. Like this can be your first NFT that's on Ethereum blockchain as opposed to TopShot. Like that's part of some of this is like, we'll work with you on it. So anyway, so this is like the rarity trait tool. There were 9 of them that were like the unknown cats that got dropped that are the first 9 there. There's only one of each of those. And then beyond that, it starts to get into super rare stuff.
That skeleton one's got to be the best, right?
It's pretty dope.
I like it.
The one that sold for the most though is the and one of one, the upside down cat. That was a 5 ETH sale. And then all of like the TV head ones with Bob Ross on them are going for a lot right now. The TV head pixel faces are pretty good.
Nothing says Cool Cats NFTs like a TV with Bob Ross on it.
But again, this is and right now this is ranked by like mathematical rarity, the most mathematically rare thing. But if you sorted this by like highest previous sale or whatever, like okay, so go up to that. Actually, go down there. So you see that one, number 61. Number 61 is a full deep sea diver suit and Squirtle glasses. Like that's in my opinion.
And the head boobs.
Yeah,
I'm terrified how much you know about this. Plunge. How do you have time for all this?
Interested, man. I'm just interested. So anyway, but you see the one like number 54 where it's like it's got a deep sea diver hat and a gorilla suit. Like, would you rather have the more rare that one or the one that matches? And even if it's mathematically more rare, like aesthetically, it's not as pleasing, at least to me. But anyway, long story short, go into this tool. There are traits even at the floor. Like if you sort this by low to high and just look at the floor, or you looked at the things that are the cheapest, like there's some stuff in there that you might resonate with. And it is, I will say, it's a lot harder to resonate with something at 0.15 ETH than it is at 0.02. And I don't fault anyone for not wanting to get in at 0.15 and take on someone else's bags that may have minted it at that and are getting 7x. Like if now is not the time, that's cool. But we're probably going to be able to bring 2 people in at the very least. And you can monitor it. And if it comes into your wheelhouse, great. If you make some money off another project and you think that you're cute, like it doesn't, I don't get any money from doing this. So it's just something I'm interested in.
Yeah. I'll show the people the only Cool Cat I bought. I was literally bullied into it because someone said it looked like the Win Packs version of the Cool Cat with the orange beanie. And so I get tagged in the club NFT channel and Deposit Kingdom, and they bully me into buying these NFTs because they tie in with my brand somehow.
You have a good offer on it right now.
Is it, Mike? Is that a good offer?
$69.
What if I paid 0.12 for it?
Nice.
It's got to be relative to current value, yeah.
Okay, let's talk a little more Top Shot. People are getting restless. Some people want the distraction from Top Shot. Some people want us to talk Top Shot.
I'll be right back. Okay, I need to use the restroom.
I'm gonna get a drink too. I say we leave this to 2 mics. The only 2 people capable of talking about Top Shot.
You got it.
You guys do this. We'll be right back.
All right. MBL, I feel like the chat for the last 35 minutes is like, please God, can MBL just say something about Top Shot? So I feel like now that we've cleared the room, there are no avatars out there. How are you feeling?
So should I launch into the State of the Union that I prepared, or just keep it higher level right now?
No. I mean, you do. Why don't I change my lights in the background? I feel like I can go full.
Okay.
I
Let
don't
me ask
have
you a quick question. Is that like a streaming thing that you and Overzet both have, or it's more of like an aesthetic thing that happens to look nice in the back of a stream?
So when I started streaming, I wanted to get something like that, and I think probably from seeing. So yeah, I feel like I'm a Pete copycat.
Some room back there.
Yeah, you can do it. You could absolutely make that happen. You could make that happen.
Okay. All right. So I will get into it. I have like a little formalized thing here, but I'll keep it a little bit more casual.
All right.
Okay. So I will start small and then expand into more detail. Where I'm starting to get a little bit. Welcome back, Pete. I'm starting to launch into a sort of an abridged State of the Union.
Yes.
Here, where I encourage feedback and questions in the middle of this.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. I have seen a lot of commentary recently that basically TopShot is dead. Dapper is a complete mess. Dapper fucked up a good thing. That it's Dapper's fault that we've all lost money. Roham is awful. The articles written about how bad Dapper is. All this sort of commentary, and I think the overarching thesis here is going to be that I think that people have seen account values go down, and they want to kind of attribute a reason to it. And the easiest and most central figure is Dapper. And Dapper has some control over the market, but I want to take everyone back to February. In February, what happened was we had a weird combination of endless new users joining because of Bales' article, because of general publicity, because everyone started telling their friends, wow, we've got this new platform where it's literally free money. The prices only go up. And the user base went up 100 times between the end of December and the end of February, literally from 2,000 to 200,000, something in that range. I don't know the exact numbers. And that happened to correspond with a time when they had no new supply coming on. So the pack drop system was completely broken. I think we went 2 months between rare drops. The base pack drops were a complete mess. There were these stress tests, and the site was broken. It was unstable. And so basically we had the combination of massive demand and new users sign up and no new supply coming up, which naturally leads to enormous and explosive price appreciation. And I say this with the benefit of hindsight, because I very much believed it was legitimate at the time. It was something that was artificially inflated. We had basically people coming on, wanting to get involved, wanting to build their collection, whether for the flip or for the fun of it, but build their collection one way or the other. But they were pushing values up to astronomical levels, to 200 to 500 times what they were just 2 or 3 months earlier. And what I think is going on overall is essentially the market is right sizing from that increase. So if you kind of zoom all the way out and you look back starting in June, if you really want, starting in, I don't know, as recently as December, there's been actually a reasonable trajectory up from December to where we all are now. Obviously, we had an enormous spike in the middle, but what I want to stress is it's not like Dapper came and decreed this is what moments are worth now. The user base bought moments. The user base drove the prices up. And I don't think it's Dapper's responsibility to keep the market at that level, to ensure that anyone who buys in doesn't lose money. And so a few common complaints I've seen are that Dapper has oversupplied the market and therefore diluted the value of all of our accounts. So first things first, obviously every single collector today, myself included, you guys included, anyone who holds any TopShot moments benefits from fewer new TopShot moments. There is a smaller supply pool, and that helps your bags, especially as new user growth is happening. Having said that, that doesn't perfectly align with, one, what Dapper has represented they're going to do, and two, Dapper's objective. So just stepping back and thinking practically what's going to happen, Dapper will continue releasing moments over time. They've always said we will release common moments all the time, essentially to the point where they're always available. And they haven't been able to achieve that yet. And we'll release rare or legendary packs once a week, even once every 2 weeks. They floated that sort of frequency of pack drop. And so they are essentially doing exactly what they said they're going to do right now. And yet everyone is saying that is why the market is going down. Then secondly, everyone's saying that Dapper should be marketing at this point. That does Dapper not know it's the NBA playoffs right now? Do they not know it's the finals right now? And Jack put up a post, which I think it was a valid post, saying, could TopShot do more around the finals? And I kind of respond a little bit tongue-in-cheek, saying a list of things that could be going on right now. 1, Dapper doesn't feel like they're ready. 2, the NBA doesn't feel like Dapper is ready. 3, I don't remember what 3 was. And 4, Dapper does not know that the NBA Finals is going on right now. And I think that there's a legitimate portion of the community who wants to believe that 4 is true, because they want to say Dapper are idiots and that's why I'm losing money, not because I bought into a product at a very, very high price. It was difficult to tell at the time that it was a high price, but I bought in at a high price, and now the market's reaching more what are probably realistic levels at this point. And so those are the 2 primary complaints I've seen from people: dilution and lack of marketing. That I can't say I fully agree with. Is, could Dapper have done a little bit better on the supply side? I guess. I don't know what that means. If the moments didn't go to 40,000, if they went to 32,000 instead, or 25,000 on the common moments, would that have changed where we are right now? Like, I don't think so practically. Where I think Dapper has fallen short is, I think that if you go back to February, and again, I say this with the benefit of hindsight, I don't think it was easy at the time. I think they should have KYC'd every single person coming onto the platform. It was an idea that was floated and discussed. They said that they felt like it stunted the growth of the platform too much. They didn't have the support team to process that in any reasonable amount of time. And so they weren't going to do it now, but they'll do it in the future. And what that led to is an endless stream of bots and multi-accounters. So Dapper did an absolutely shoddy job of controlling bots and multi-accounters, and that was a devastating period of weeks and months on the platform. Multi-accounters and bots, and they just came in, they swooped up, they got most packs, they sold them to the marketplace, and it was a complete disaster. And I think that during this February run-up, if you can't release new supply right now, I think that Dapper probably should have shut the doors completely on new signups, and they did limit new signups. I think they did Google-only signups, but I don't think that was enough. I think, again, with the benefit of hindsight, I don't think many people were saying this at the time. If you let lots and lots of new people in but don't add to the supply, it's going to lead to an artificial pump of the moment. And I don't want to say you could see this coming, but at some point the market's going to find its equilibrium, and it's not going to be based on the artificial pump where it was. But what's kind of, so essentially the point that I'm making overall is I think the market is going down, not because Dapper is fucking up, but because it reached artificially high levels in February, and now the market is kind of finding its footing. What's bothering me a little bit is the commentary from people on Twitter who kind of seem to almost want to say, I had a shitty experience, therefore I'm going to go out of my way to reply to every tweet, every post, to spread FUD wherever possible to ensure that everyone else also has a bad time. It seems like that's their objective, and that they want the platform to fail now because they had a bad experience. And it's kind of frustrating to see. And, you know, it seems like that's their goal. And I understand people are frustrated. I get people are frustrated. It's just, you know, is the best reaction there to go and try and take down the entire platform? Would that make you sleep better at night if everyone else also lost a lot of money? If the platform failed, if Dapper Labs crashed and burned, would you then feel better? And it's like, that's what it sort of feels like. And that kind of thing bothers me. It's like, if you want to criticize the platform, try and be productive about it. Try and introduce decent suggestions, actionable suggestions. And let's see, I'm looking down to my notes because it's an official State of the Union. Yes, please, Mike.
Yeah. Well, I was going to, first of all, I think we can all agree we learn a lot from Twitter replies. I think we've all emotionally, intellectually have been stimulated by Twitter replies. No, but NBL, I wanted to ask you, and I don't want to get into like, or actually any of you guys, and I don't want to get into like financial advice territory, but pretend your account doesn't necessarily look like Pete's body, but it looks more like my body, right? So we're moving from whale to fish. Where like
hairy versus bald?
Yeah, hairy versus bald. That's also a good comp. Hairy versus bald. That was a nice Plunge. Thank you so much. But like with everything the way that it is right now, right? With everything, and everyone's upset. The market seems to be continuing going down. Like if you were in that situation, how are you even like attacking this? And I don't mean like specific moments or whatever, but like how would you even approach strategically? How would you even approach this situation?
So what I would probably do is, I think it's really, really difficult to, as they say in finance world, catch a falling knife. I don't know if that's like a not finance or finance thing, whatever, to call the exact bottom, basically. I think what you're probably better off doing is kind of waiting till you see maybe like a 10 to 15% pop and get back in then. And you haven't timed it exactly perfectly, but hopefully, assuming things have actually turned around and there's been the full kind of cycle out of sellers and cycle in of new adopters and NBA fans and all that good stuff, then hopefully you get the rest of the ride up from there without having to, stress and stay up. And did I actually catch the bottom? Oh, wait, there was this bad tweet from Roham. Now it's down another 5%. And you sleep better at night. You probably end up getting a more efficient entry point. And you miss the exact bottom, but I think generally you win overall. That's one way, or you can kind of do the dollar cost average in where you say, I've got a $5,000 budget. I'll put $100 in a day for the next 50 days, something like that, or whatever it is, $200 a week for 25 weeks.
Mike, what have you guys been doing, Zakarian? Because I know you guys recently completed the Hollow challenge. It seems like I know you're well. I actually helped.
Seriously, thank you.
I legitimately, Trey and I loaned you our Chris Middleton.
Thank you.
And you also need to give that back.
We'll see what happens. We'll see how the finals go.
7 days is up. You should be able to get it.
7 days up. I need it fucking back right now, dude. But it's still like, I know you're still engaging with the marketplace. You're still looking at prices. You're looking for, entry points. Like, do you get excited in some ways when it's dropping, knowing like, I mean, I hadn't looked at the like Kobe LeBron tribute dunk in like a long time. I'm like, holy shit, it's down to $5,000. Like even the LaMelo, which I was contemplating buying at 2,000 is down to like 500. Like, are you looking for entry points here?
So this is what I've been doing. I haven't been looking at anything I've purchased, but only the things that I want to purchase.
There you go.
I haven't checked on anything that I got because I don't want to know. It got to a place that I felt comfortable with, and I was like, okay, that's mine now. But I'm not going to check to see where it's at. Versus like all the things that felt like they were so out of range that are now coming back to earth. Those are the things that I'm checking daily, and that's been fun doing that. And I think a lot of people who were like, oh, I'll never get Series 1 Top Shot debuts, all of a sudden now have an opportunity to get Series 1 Top Shot debuts, or to get stuff that was like so overpriced, the Series 2 like 7,500 or 15Ks that are all of a sudden like back in place now. But I think that's like one of the reasons why, because you can only do that so much. You can only engage with that sort of like behavior so much in the marketplace every day before you drive yourself crazy. And that's why I do think they need to find like other opportunities for utility, like even a stupid thing like a quest tonight, right? Like a quest for the finals where I'm out there buying a Bobby Portis fucking Top Shot debut, which I'm not pumped about, but like, it's like, ooh, he might be a top 10, but it just like, you know what I mean? Like another way that we're engaging with the marketplace a little bit more, or just with the site. And NBL, I know you've said this a bunch, like finding more opportunities to engage with like the Top Shot platform more than to just like, because if you're just monitoring like how things are going up or going down every day, you really are going to drive yourself crazy, I think, which I can attest to. And there's video footage. But yeah, I think that's kind of how I've been doing it. I've been like making a shopping list of things that I'm excited to hopefully have an opportunity to buy, and then as they come into range, get them. But then, you know what's crazy too? I feel like we're constantly like readjusting what is in range too. Like I remember that Zion and Luka Top Shot debut, which is something that I was like, I'll never get those. I'm so jealous of people who have those. And then all of a sudden they get to 2000. I'm like, oh, I think maybe we're going to get those. But now like 2000, that's probably too much. We're going to let that come down a little bit more. Like we're constantly reevaluating what the floor is of all of this stuff, which is like scary, but also exciting, because it's scary if you already have it. It's exciting if you don't.
It's a really good way to interrogate how you actually feel about those moments. Do you like the moments because you legitimately like them and you want an entry point, or did you like it because you thought it was going to 10x and you wanted to get in fast? And a lot of times if you're not buying, a 50%, 75%, 200% dip, it's because you just wanted it to go to the moon. You didn't love it that much.
Right. That's what, like, I was able to get the Ja Morant the last time everything went down, the Top Shot debut Ja Morant. I haven't checked the price on that since, because I'm just so excited I have it. I never thought I was going to get the Series 1 Top Shot debut of Ja Morant. And I'm just excited I have it. So I'm never going to look at it again unless I buy another one. Like, that would be the only time. But I'm just excited to have it.
Yeah.
You know?
And we were talking about that with Trey Kirby the other week, I think, or maybe it was from the Top Shot survey, because I think both Trey and I were saying, like, we need a better way to display these moments. Like, the avatar projects are all the buzz right now because it's really easy to display and show them off. And like right now, like, no one is showing off moments. Like, I haven't seen someone like post on Twitter, like, how badass is this moment, or how cool is it that I own this cereal? Like, that kind of conversation that was happening in February is just not happening anymore.
I mean, there's 15 times as much supply, right? Like,
yeah,
I think that's, and I saw it in the chat. I don't know who it was, but like S1, less than 1 million moments total. And there's 15 million in Series 2. And back to a point that I made before, like, the metrics that Top Shot is using to define success for their platform is building for the future. And what that looks like to them, because of what's on their roadmap, whether or not they've shared it with us or otherwise, is making the new user experience accessible. That's the reason that there are so many moments. That's the reason that they have expanded the circulating count on so many of them, is such that if I'm brand new and I've never heard of Top Shot before, and someone tells me about it, I see a marketing pitch on a YouTube stream, I get served an ad on Facebook, that when I come to the site, I can buy something. And for a really long time, you could not do that because there was not enough supply. And for us, for people that were in January or earlier, what that means for us is you are diluting everything that we have and what prices were there. And to MBL's point before, which is a very, very astute one, like, that pump was fundamentally a result of they cannot get enough moments into enough people's hands in order to not have all of these things that shouldn't be way, 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 way up rise that fast. And, we lose sight of it, but like, literally they couldn't pull off a pack drop in February. Like, there was nothing new coming because they couldn't even execute a pack drop. And there were 5x, 6x, 10x users coming into the site, which is why the floor moments, and it's hard to imagine at this point, like, the cheapest moment that you could buy on Top Shot at some point in February was like $21 or $22.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy to think about now.
The ending part of the State of the Union will say, now I've looked down, I've seen a couple things that I forgot to say. So first on the supply side, I think an important note is, we talk about what does Dapper look at in terms of determining the size of editions, how often to drop packs. And the community as a whole was communicating to them one thing: we want more packs. There was literally a meme, maybe overs driven, maybe not, when packs, and
maybe
not.
We got fucking mugs made, Mike. Maybe.
And I know your cool cat was inspired by that too, I'll note. But what did the collectors tell them? We want more packs. Every single pack instantly sold out. And I do say that with a big asterisk, because I think that's a little bit fake, because the packs were extremely plus EV, as I wrote a whole long thread on that everyone probably hated. people were buying packs not because they wanted moments, but because they wanted money. And so it was a weird combination of things, but under the system they were running, the packs sold out over and over and over and over and over again. And so Dapper has always said from day one, and hopefully they put this information somewhere accessible for new users, but from day one, they've said we always want common packs to be available, which means we basically want common moments to be cheap. And so they went ahead and did what they said what they were going to do from the supply side. And like, I know that's not what people want to hear, because the moments were valued up here, and because they did what they said they were going to do, the moments are now valued down here. I don't know. I mean, should Dapper have changed course to keep moments artificially inflated based on the February dynamics? I don't think so. I mean, they didn't drive the prices up. The users bought moments up. Okay, next thing. Then I saw one comment from Fran Millionaire, who's a friend of the pod and a tennis fan. So we like Fran, good cat. And he said, how should we have known that February was a high point? I'm not suggesting that people should have known or should have done anything differently. The primary point I'm trying to make here is I don't think it's anything Dapper has done grossly wrong that has led to the market falling right now. I think that it's because it reached a point that was way too high and it's coming back down right now. And I, in some ways, applaud Dapper for not going for a knee-jerk reaction to try and keep moments that high. And I do think you can make a reasonable argument that the collector's score does come with a lot of benefits and makes some sense in theory, but in its current form does sort of feel like an attempt to stop the bleeding right now. And I like the idea of trying to define a collector, but I think the collector score is a difficult way to do it. I don't know of a better way to do it though at this point, so I don't have a great recommendation there. I guess my final overarching point here is I would love for people to disentangle their view of the platform from their account values. I think that if you look at the platform today versus where it was and the complaints people used to have versus the complaints people have today, Dapper's done really, really, really well. The site was crashing or in maintenance mode on a daily basis not so long ago. Withdrawals where people couldn't get money off the platform. People had issues with anything and everything that they would complain about, and Dapper's basically fixed all of those issues. And so now basically the issue is just a generic Dapper is dumb because my account is down. And like, I'd love to hear like more specific complaints. What is Dapper doing wrong? And so another example of what I think they're doing wrong is I don't love the idea of them retroactively going and rewarding throwdown holders with a kind of unexpected challenge because that pack drop didn't go well and people lost money on it. I think it's a bit of a slippery slope for them to try and make people whole like that.
They did not reward throwdowns holders. They rewarded Donovan Mitchell rare holders.
All right, whatever it is, I don't like the idea of them springing unexpected things on like that. I think that anything like that maybe should come along with we're freezing the market for like 12 hours after this so that everyone can digest the information and act on that information 12 hours after. I don't love the, to your point, Plunge earlier, TopShots shouldn't be a 24/7 thing for people, and it becomes a 24/7 thing if they make it a timing thing. We're going to release an idea and...
You've made the argument multiple times, and I'm actually in favor of it, right? There should be a time every week that information is disseminated that's market changing or market shifting information. Which is incongruous with the surprise and delight elements that make things fun. And it's a tough tightrope for them to walk, to say, all right, we're going to keep you interested and keep you coming back and keep you engaged and on the site and active and working through showcases or challenges or being on the marketplace or seeing what's out there versus telling you everything and telegraphing exactly what's going to happen. Because if we know exactly what's going to happen, what it becomes is a math game. It's 100% a math game. It's just like, all right, everybody does the math and it's EV or it's not. And kudos to the folks that own the moment and some of these other sites like Live Token and Moment Ranks that like have all these awesome tools to make this work, and all of these other communities that can do that math really quickly. But like, that's part of it, right? Right now, the game is and the utility of these moments outside of just I can hold them is how can I engage with the platform in some way to manifest a reward or otherwise. And I will say, and I think one thing, MBL, that I think they got wrong, and you hinted at this before, and the reason they got it wrong was a kind of overcorrection or a significant correction to combat multiple accounting and bots and making it fair for everyone. A huge part of collector experience, and part of the reason, a huge reason that the network effects were felt in early February for people bringing others in, was we can collaborate on this together. I can borrow from MBL a moment, and I can borrow from Pete a moment. I can borrow Mike a moment, and we can own this thing together to complete this challenge. And they said, nada, nope, no more, because it's difficult to regulate and maintain the the fair playness, at least in their current system. I think they very significantly need to walk that back so that all four of us, if we have, and we all got lucky on a playoff pack, and we got four of us got four individual different moments, that guess what? We can complete a challenge with a cost basis that's much less than the cost of those moments on the marketplace as inflated by the current demand for them. It will decrease the overall inflated demand of them overall, but it will also make it a more collaborative and fun experience for everyone. And right now I'm in the throes of doing that with the Holo Challenge, right? For Embiid. I cracked the Booker and the Holo Icon pack. I got one of those things. I cannot afford the other $7,000 worth of moments, but I can collaborate with my people that I work with, or I'm in Discords with, or my friends or whatever, say, hey, we're going to go on in this together. And that collector experience is super valuable because it breeds network effects of this is fun for others. And it's not just me on my own. How big is my bankroll? How much can I afford to float? Do I need to flip this in order to get liquid enough to do the next thing? Like, you can strategize, and you have a lot more different avenues and mechanisms by which to play the game beyond just, is my bank account or my Dapper balance or my ETH balance big enough to execute on trade A, trade B, trade C, and participate in whatever challenge or quest is out there. And I think that that's a huge deal, and they need to make that right, and they haven't yet.
So I agree with that. One thing, what's up, Derek? And Eric, what's up? The film crew. What's up, boys?
Hey.
Plunge. So one thing that you mentioned that I want to hit on is the third-party tools that are available between Own the Moment, Live Token, and everything else. I think that's one of the fundamental challenges that Dapper needs to find a way to overcome. There is too much information available. I went to a physical card show, a physical NFT show, I don't know, 6 weeks ago, whatever. And I went in there. I had not the faintest idea what I was doing. No idea what I was doing. And I went in and I bought a baseball card for like $74. I don't know if it's worth $5. I don't know if it's worth $190. I don't know if it's worth $16. And that was fun. I had a great time with that. That was gambling. That was a good time. I had a little conversation with the guy behind the desk. I concluded he's not a scumbag. This seems like a good enough deal. And that was it. And that sort of unknown does not exist in any way on TopShot. And to me, it's one of the appealing aspects of it, but it removes sort of some of the collectibles aspect, the idea of finding a hidden gem, a diamond in the rough, something that everyone else missed. It doesn't exist. And a secondary issue there is we see the entire universe of available moments every time we go into the site. So if you go to a trade show, you might see 4 Giannis cards, and that's a cool one from his rookie season. That's a cool one where he's dunking. That's a cool free throw one, and that one's kind of shiny over there. Great, those are my options. I don't know what they should be worth. I don't know what they cost normally. I don't know what an auction would go for. I want a Giannis card. I'm buying one of these 4. You go into TopShot, you see there are 40,000 of this one, 35,000 of that, and it just seems like there are a shit ton of these everywhere and anywhere. And a Topps common moment, I don't know what the hell the card, a regular Topps card, I don't know how many it has. It probably has 750,000 of them floating around the world, but we'll never know that answer. So you can suspend your disbelief a little bit and say, hey, this is a cool card. Whereas if you go on TopShot and you get a LeBron James, 750,000 edition size moment, you kind of feel like this isn't worth anything. So I think the blockchain aspect is great for many, many purposes, but I think that's one fundamental issue. The second fundamental issue is that TopShot's categorizing itself as NFTs, and technically they are NFTs, but I think that that is a bit problematic. When people think of NFTs, they think of CryptoPunks, they think of Bored Apes, they think of one-of-one pieces of art, and they don't think about inflationary supply. And that drives the NFT crowd absolutely nuts. You can see, based on the Twitter feedback to what Dapper is doing right now, that a huge complaint is too much supply. And I really think that's people sitting there and saying, when I look at CryptoPunks, there's 10,000 every time. When I look at Cool Cats, whatever your Cool Cat NFT is, it's 10,000 every time. There's 5,000 Deadheads and whatever other projects are going on. There's a capped number of them. We know how many there are. When more people want them, that means price up. Whereas in TopShot, it may just mean we're staying even because people are buying new moments instead of existing moments. And I think people struggle to deal with that. I think that people like the lottery aspect of these new avatar things, and they like more of a gamble than TopShot's offering them right now. And I don't know how TopShot competes with that. And I sort of think TopShot shouldn't be trying to compete with that. TopShot's target market is average NBA fan. Realistically, they've made it super easy to buy shit with your credit card to go on. You don't need to know what a blockchain is. You don't need a crypto wallet. You go, you swipe your credit card, you buy a moment, you look at it, you watch the play. Great. It's designed for the casual NBA fan, not for the NFT fan who's comparing to all these other projects. And I do think that TopShot needs to keep their eye on the prize there, which is why I'm a little bit stressed about some of Roham's polls from this week that say, should we introduce all these NFT features to TopShot? And I'm kind of like, if I'm an average NBA fan who doesn't know the first thing about blockchain, and I see I can go onto this platform that offers crafting and staking and merging and whatever else, I'm like, what the hell is going on here? This is way too complicated. I'm out. And I think you're trying to compete for the wrong user base at that
Do you
point.
think I agree with that, NBL, but do you think that it's would you say the average TopShot user right now is an average NBA fan? And because I don't know if that's the case. And I think that's where some of the struggle is, right? Where that it's not the average NBA fan. So that the utility that Roham's talking about or like throwing out there is probably appeasing the people that are already there, but not the people that will be there.
So in my mind, that's fighting a losing battle. You're competing with these NFT projects that, again, have capped supply that can do these weird things that no one affiliated with the NBA can do. You can mint a bunch of things for 0.02 and hopefully everyone gets up to 0.4 and everyone's excited and talking about floor prices. And it's really hard to compete with the excitement of that. And I don't think TopShot should be competing with the excitement of that. And I'm worried that in response to the current user base, which is crypto heavier than what I think the ultimate user base will be 5 to 10 years down the line, they might have some knee-jerk reactions and do some things that may help the 6 to 12 month outlook, but not the longer term outlook. And from my perspective, I think it's important to focus on the, whatever it is, the 100 million NBA fans, not the 50,000 NFT fans.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's why they've been in such a weird spot, right? Because initially, like you said, with the KYC stuff, they were like, no, we don't want to slow down our growth. Let's get everyone in. Let's get everyone in possible. And now they're making decisions based on the loud, vocal minority of hyper-engaged NFT fans. And it's just like, that's what happened. You're just a plastic bag blowing in the wind at that point. But I do want to introduce our VIP guests tonight. We got Eric Belair, we got DMang, and I didn't even realize this when I saw you guys on the forum tonight. You guys were both in Philadelphia for the infamous Levy Cup here. So welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yep.
Well, and let's, I feel like we should do, I don't know where Mike went there for a sec. Eric, I want you to say, I want you to tell people something about DMang, and DMang, I want you to tell people something about Belair, because you guys hung out today for a day, I assume.
We did. DMang is very tech savvy, I'll say that. He's got an excellent collection of equipment. I think he's buying more for the next match. Very smart, very kind. He met me 5 minutes later. We're jamming. We work so well together, and he did a lot more work than me, I'll admit that, but Derek's a cool dude. It was a pleasure to meet him. I wish we got to hang out more. I'm looking forward to hanging out with him again in the future.
All right, DMang, what's something that people might not know about Belair after hanging IRL with him?
He how can I say it? I don't just want to go with, oh, he's much taller in real life, because he is.
No.
But that's just too easy.
We're looking for something like he has a giant wart on his shin, something like that.
No, that's the thing. I mean, he's a super down to earth guy. And he was just like, what can I do to help? I'm here. Just very wants to jump in, dive in, looking to take part. And I was just trying to fish my way through the best Wi-Fi signal that we could get. But I was tied up on my 9 to 5 on a work call, and Eric had everything set up when I walked in. And that's what I'm trying to describe. How do you like, without meeting a guy, we had a couple discussions, DMs over Twitter, but he got what we were talking about. We shared a couple screenshots, I think, in the DMs, and he had it set up with what we talked about. You walked in the door and it clicked with him. He got it. And he's talking about me with the sophistication, but he's no tech background, and he picked up and he had the thing basically up off the ground running, ready to go. And it was us logging in to the system. So
NBL, were you happy with their tech, or did you hope for like some post-production where you actually win the tennis match?
I was very happy with the tech. I'll ignore the second half of your question. I was very impressed with Eric and Derek. They came in and they honestly they worked their asses off. Starting at like 11 o'clock on the dot, they were like running around the 4 or 5 courts that were there, setting up ladders, setting up wires, while Levitan and I were kind of getting warmed up and chatting a little bit. And these guys worked extremely hard, worked their ass off. I have not watched the video. I absolutely refuse to watch the video. I will never watch the video. But from what I understand, it was a very enjoyable viewing experience. I was with my in-laws for July 4th weekend. They watched it. They said that the film crew did a great job. They had a great time. They said it was intense. It was stressful, and they were upset with the results. I did not get dessert this weekend, but you guys did an awesome job. And you guys were great to hang out with. I'm very appreciative. Did I learn anything fun? Well, unfortunately, Derek did not join us for drinks after, because as he mentioned, he was doing his 9 to 5 job. We were all being degenerates. It was a Friday, I'll remind you. But Eric and I had drinks for the 8 hours after the match, 9 hours after the match, and it was fantastic, and I enjoyed every minute.
They had to make up some drinks for me since I wasn't there, so that's appropriate.
Yeah. That was one of the greatest afternoons of my life, just talking to Mike for like 8 hours.
Fantastic.
About so many things.
That's a long ass afternoon. That sounds like it spilled into the evening, guys.
It did.
We met back up with Levy and his buddy, and then we watched the Sixers game, had some more drinks, and I got home at 5 o'clock, 5:30 the next morning.
I think what you're trying to say.
Back that night.
Wow.
Eric, what you're trying to say is when you hang out with NBL, time really stands still.
Yes.
You're just floating in just a beautiful afternoon. Well, we appreciate you guys hopping on the show. I know you guys were listening to our very heated, not heated, but a passionate Top Shot conversation. I mean, Eric, you're famously on record of saying you're over Top Shot. Is that true? You're going to tell your love of your life, NBL, that you're moved on from Top Shot?
No, I'm not over Top Shot. I'm not like Willis saying I don't care.
Oh, that
about
you're right.
Top Shot.
That was Willis who said that on here.
Right now, I'm just kind of indifferent, kind of bored. From February or January through probably May, I was like locked in. I was on moment ranks trying to flip moments. I was trying to finish, challenges, and the last like month and a half, I've barely gone on the site. I think I bought a couple Bucks moments last week to try to do the quest, and it felt weird buying a moment after months of not doing it. So I'm just sitting. I'm hodling everything right now, and just seeing what happens.
What about you, DMang?
So completed the Cool Cats Master, and then I kind of cooled it from. I'm waiting for my jersey. I have a tracking number. Right. I have a tracking number. So I know everyone's got such fresh swag this week. Floaty hat. Cool
hey, you got a sweet shirt. Like, War on Drugs is an awesome band.
That is
it was a good show. It was
a good shirt.
So I kind of cooled it from the marketplace a little bit, and I did get the wedgie moment.
That's you, Belair.
That's me.
That was a truck?
There's like
no, motorcycle just drove. I live on a main road. Motorcycle just drove by. Sorry.
That was There's good bass on that.
Yeah, I went right to mute. I was like, is that me? I don't know what is going on.
Blair, we get it. You live in a vibrant neighborhood in Connecticut, all right?
Yeah, as Ricky says, I'm in the rich neighborhood.
I expect that kind of bullshit from Mike in Astoria, but not from you, Eric, in the suburbs of Connecticut.
I live underneath Amtrak. I thought for sure that was Amtrak.
Sorry, what were you saying, DMang?
What was I saying? Oh, it's marketplace, right. Chill. Quoted from the marketplace. You know, I picked up the wedgie. Got a couple packs. I was buying the packs, and I'm just, it's the summer.
It is the summer.
It's the summer vibes. Gonna hang in the hammock.
That's right.
So I don't know if I need the marketplace this summer. I'm gonna do the packs. I'm gonna keep an eye out for the packs, but
Same.
This has been my favorite take. I feel like this is a common take for the Top Shot off season right now. Is they're like, yeah, I mean the season's ending, but also like the weather is nice.
I mean, it's not like we're coming out of a global pandemic.
I know. You're right.
But well, I mean, two quick takes on your prior conversation. I try when I hear someone's a basketball fan, I ask them, Top Shot, do you heard of Top Shot? And it wasn't until this past weekend that I ran into someone in the area in suburbs of Philly, northeast Philly, that I'm on Top Shot, and they were Eric and I's age, and it's like I'm like, I mean, this was a finance guy at a car dealership, and then he's telling me about his buddy in GM who's basically day trading moments. But coming across, like, I don't really come across, I've asked some people at work, our AVP that worked in the corner office by me, he played ball at Houston, NBA fan, never heard of Top Shot. And so I think we're early. It's kind of my take. I think we're early. And when you're going back to Roham and making the tweets and adding features for the NFT, I mean, my take is I don't know if you want to waxify the experience. And I was really new into Top Shot, and then they had those the baseball, the Topps cards came out, and I went for it. But I don't know wax. And when I try to look at it, it's like, what am I looking at? And then I could sell the packs if I want to, but then what am I going to do with the wax? And I don't get the liquidity pool. I think I understand sushi better than the wax liquidity pool at this point. Like it's, what is that? And what can I trade for? Can I get ETH from wax? And do I want to spend the time to figure it out? So it's like Top Shot speaks more to me in that aspect. It's a more user-friendly experience. I mean, there's some features of the wax marketplace I guess I saw when I was looking at selling the case of cards I have, but I don't know. I don't feel like it's as user-friendly. I don't feel like you can find your way as a kind of novice user with sort of a background and an understanding,
Yeah, I mean, that's even the thing. Like, even anyone who's tried to use OpenSea, it's still nearly impenetrable for someone who isn't like extremely well versed in this stuff. Like, Top Shot is the first product that made it seem easy for a casual user. Casual users do not know they're interacting with NFTs, with the blockchain. They're just fucking buying online basketball cards, and it's a seamless process.
Yeah. Like NFTs for dummies. It's easy.
And we know the physical card market works. It's existed for 80 years. It's huge. It's robust. People love it. People pay a lot of money for it. People collect. They have them displayed in their office, in their room. Like, it works. I don't think we need to stray too far from it.
Yes. What medal are you wearing now, Mike?
So a deep threat. I think that's
shout out Deep Threat.
Yeah, Deep Threat. Recommended.
No, not shout out Deep Threat. He said I need to work on my traps earlier.
He did say that. I saw that.
Send me a selfie, a Deep Threat. Let's both send selfies with our shirts off. We'll both post them online. All right, you're gonna call out my traps. Let's do this. Anyways, go ahead. Shout out.
So a Deep Threat highlighted during the conversation about Lev Cup 2021 that I came in second place, and so it might be more appropriate for me to throw in the second place medal. So here we are, and so I'm
Wait,
in
so,
silver medal now.
so someone actually got who got the medals for that?
No, these medals are from my buddy's bachelor party.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if someone actually had medals made for that contest.
No.
That would have been awesome.
And if he's watching, he's getting a little preview of it. It was a little surprise, but it's not that exciting, so it's fine.
Yeah. Eric, what's going on in Eric's world these days? You are
you know what's going on in my world right now.
I mean, that's not my information to share. That's why I'm asking you, Eric.
No. No, I'm just I'm working. I'm kind of in a lull for work right now. It's not too busy, but I spend my time watching your streams. I go outside and get a tan every day, just about. When it's
You
not
are
too
looking nice with that tan.
Yeah, maybe one day I'll share the tan line so you really see, but I'm a nice caramel color right now.
That's a different stream, Eric, and we charge for that one.
I'm getting my hand close to you for contrast. I mean, this is wild. Wow.
Wow. I couldn't tell if that was lighting at first. That's a tan.
The lighting in here is not great. I was once called, I think, an Oompa Loompa because I was so orange on one stream. So I tried to fix it, make it a little brighter today. I'm going to work on it.
What's the hoodie? Is that a dead Mal or what is that?
You don't know what this is?
Is that a cool cat?
No.
Is this some NFT project Plunge is involved in?
I don't think he is. I know you are though.
Ooh.
This is this isn't technically an NFT, but
it's the Broccoli's. Okay, all right. It's bean sauce. All right. Dude, that is a sick hoodie. I love that.
I love it. It's pink.
That's
I love
pretty
it.
cool.
I'm psyched about it. Yeah.
Yeah, shout out. We got to get those guys back on, the Broccoli Bros. You guys remember them, TopShotter and Dean. They made the NFTs, the Roham, the Pete Overzet, the all the legends of TopShots.
Did they send you? Did they send you the original?
Hold on. No one else between Roham and Pete. That's one and two.
They made an LG. They made an LG.
And Usman and LG.
I know there's more. I just wanted to know that was the ranking in your head, that it was
it's me, and Roham's like come under public fire, so I think I'm kind of like the premier guy to come out of that NFT project.
I can't wait to respond to your next Twitter poll.
But yes, those guys are awesome. We need to get them back on. They made I Love McConan bought, or I think Dean sent him one of his full broccoli print sweatshirts, and he's been doing interviews in the broccoli gear, which is pretty cool.
It was pretty sick.
Yeah, I'll see if I can pull this up here. Plunge, what's going on? You taking a break for room service? What's going on over there?
No, I not to get all meta and everything, but when you have six white guys with like scruff talking about Top Shot at the same time, it's like, maybe there should only be 5 white guys with scruff talking about Top Shot. And I had to go to the bathroom. So
I don't think Belair has scruff.
I'd let
No,
you.
I do a little bit.
Yeah, I saw it. It's hard to see.
Thanks, Plunge.
I can.
Yeah.
But no, I was listening. I was engaged the whole time. But yeah,
you deserve it. Time. You worked hard tonight. You deserve a little bit of a break.
I worked hard.
Do you have any thoughts on part 2 of State of the Union?
I mean, I find it very hard to disagree with MBL ever. And most of the time that I do, it is from a perspective of like it is okay for Top Shot to be different for different people, right? It doesn't need, and I said this before, it doesn't need to be everything for everyone constantly. And I think you hit a poignant point talking about wax and other NFTs in general and tops and the physical card market, that like there are sort of ways in which collectible markets shift and adjust and all these and they act. I think what I will say, and that what for a lot of people, at least on the surface, was relatively exciting about Top Shot early, and part of the reason that the network effects were felt so massively is that it is different. it is fundamentally different because it's on the blockchain than it is for cracking a pack of Panini Prism cards and then like ending up with, you know, nothing. And to your point about the card show and everything, like you have no idea what it is. That was a novel thing. And I remember listening to you, MBL, back then, being like touting why Top Shot could be the next big thing and why you had made such a massive bet on it, was that the addressable market for this is huge. And we haven't even gotten there yet. And I think that we're still not there yet in terms of what that addressable market is, but it doesn't change the dynamics of what the mechanics that are interesting to people and different enough to people that they would buy into an NFT or a digital collectible versus a physical collectible are. So we haven't hit on it at all. I haven't heard anyone mention it yet, but like, as I see other NFT projects take off, and the one that right now is like far and away taking control in terms of the number of dollars spent and dollars generated is Axie Infinity. And a lot of that has to do with like the gamification and in-system utility that can be driven from that, which cannot be replicated by physical collectibles, right? And that's cool, right? And you see all these different projects, and some of the things that are so novel about some of these, whether it's the Punks Comics or it's the Bored Apes or it's Axie Infinity or any of these other projects, is like they are fundamentally different than what we're used to or what we've seen. And for a lot of people, myself included, I had no interest in being in the physical collectibles world, but some of this digital stuff made sense. And for a lot of people that are gamers or that have participated in 2K or Modern Warfare or Fortnite or any of these other digital platforms where it's nothing to spend $15 or $20 or $50 on something that powers you up or gives you a skin or does something different, that like that is a component and a huge component of what Top Shot will be longer term. And we talk about it all the time and people hint at it and we still don't quite know where it's at, but hardcore is coming. And if you've seen any of the graphics over time, like the funnel for Top Shot is like people getting in at the higher level and utilizing some efficacy from the lower level moments to power up their people. So MBL, you mentioned the 750,000 LeBron James moment, right? From a marketplace perspective, from a long-term value proposition perspective of like, I own this thing, it's not that particularly rare. You're right. Like it might be $2 right now. It might always be $2 if it's just that thing. But if it is that thing plus, because it allows you to power up your Steph Curry or whatever you can do the 3-pointer with the thing in the game or whatever, like that may not appeal to or not be a huge component in terms of the current user base for what we care about, but it might be for the people that would be heavily engaged and involved in hardcore, like the millions of users that use Candy Crush, like the millions of users that use or play some of these other games like Fortnite or Call of Duty or whatever else. And I know that that's like a really cliche way to put some of this stuff and punt the, hey, there's utility down the line, but like it's okay for us to not lose sight of that and recognize that, you know, there may be inherent value in some of these things that we hold or that we've purchased and have gone down in value and may be valuable for a future iteration of or future derivation of Top Shot beyond it's a moment that I can hold in my wallet and it appreciates or depreciates in value relative to what I can do with it right this minute.
So I agree and really well said overall. And I love the idea that more things can happen because of the NFT technology and Top Shot knows who owns what and who has invested at what time and held for how long and who likes what team and where they live, and they can take advantage of that level of information in a way that a physical card company can't. And I think that's a great point, a Plunge. And I think that it's a genuinely beneficial thing. I love the idea of in-arena benefits, of things like that, of limited merchandise. If you hold a certain moment, or maybe if you have the full team collection, you can get some Knicks thing or some Bucks thing, whatever it is. I really like the idea of all of that. The only thing I'd love to caution against is getting too NFT, starting to creep into DeFi world and doing things that are unapproachable and intimidating for people. But I think to your point, and you said it really well, there's a lot of potential here, and which is why I think of this as the newer and better version of sports cards. As you mentioned, a huge addressable market, NFT potential, and all that good stuff, and that's what continues to give me confidence here. So I think that's well said.
And I've one more point,
Yeah.
Pete. I've said this on many streams before. If you don't think that you are the product because you have a Dapper wallet, which is a crypto wallet, and you are KYC'd, and like they can point you, and I say they broadly, but like Dapper and Floaty is built on this as well. Like Flow blockchain is not just, hey, there's Top Shot moments. There are other inherent assets that are pointed at and kind of interactive with these things. There right now, in theory, are 300 to 500,000 people with a Dapper wallet that they can point at various other things. And I think that like that's the potential here. And if we think about beyond Top Shot and into NHL Slapshot and NFL Gridiron, whatever the hell they want to call these things, like that's like we're already built into that. And there, it doesn't mean that your Jaren Jackson Jr. 40,000 moments are going to go up massively in price like they might have in February when the supply was low. But like that's what they're building for, and it's okay to not be like super cool with the fact that this might be a 1 or 2 or 5 year plan down the line, and be angry at Dapper for the actions that they've taken that have diminished the value of your current account in the last month or a couple months because of those things. So I sort of like, I generally lean positive on all this stuff because it's just frankly like way easier, and it's like no like water off my back. And maybe I didn't have as many bags as some other people that might have had massive bags and whatnot, but like I just don't get all worked up over it. And that's sort of where I'm at with this. And I'm trying to find the fun in it. So
I just want to say too, what's kind of cool about this too is like, I feel like and I mean this, I'm not trying to be like, oh, a rainbow, like everyone collects differently, and that's what makes Top Shot exciting. But I don't really attack it in the way that like these wow, Plunge is like having a fucking disco party over there. You went like upside down.
That was the super rare cool cat upside down NFT of Plunge.
I screenshot that and have sold it. But I think what's so cool about it is that like the way that whole conversation is not a thing that I've had. I've been like, wow, DeAndre Ayton should be more expensive because DeAndre Ayton's good, and I don't know why he's not more expensive. So that I think that's what's been kind of cool about this entire experience. Is some people are like, oh, this is a collector thing, so we should like get the whole team, and maybe if you get the whole team, you get a bonus. And some people are like, oh, this is a Genesis, this is a 1 of 50, this is Cosmo, whatever. And then some people are like, wow, Jokic was the MVP, and somehow he's like way cheaper than a lot of the other Top Shot debuts. So I do think it is just like kind of fascinating how so many different types of people. So in the same way that Top Shot is kind of fucked trying to appease all of the masses, it's also a benefit in the sense that like you can collect in a way, I can collect in a way, you can collect in a way, and all have a very different angle at it. And I don't know, that just felt like a really nice, positive thing to say. So I'm going to share that with the group.
I've enjoyed this conversation. I think we should start to land the plane here. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to do this Cool Cats giveaway. I put the names on the wheel, and Plunge, I believe we have 2 of these to give away.
That is correct. So I think, we'll spin this, and whoever wins these 2 things, your responsibility is to reach out to me via Twitter or DM. And if you have an ETH address, you need to get that to me. And you also absolutely fundamentally need to be in the Cool Cats Discord. If you're not in the Cool Cats Discord, then I can't help you. So you need to be in there. DM me with your ETH address. If you don't have one, DM me and I'll help you figure out how to get one. But yeah, whoever wins these 2 things, I'll work with the Cool Cats team to get you one of those Cool Cats, which right now is worth 149 ETH on the.
Look at this. Do we got
A quick note: the
Wow.
Bucks are making a little bit of a run.
They are.
No.
A little bit. They're down 9.
all right?
How much
There, Tigbo, I saw you in the chat earlier. You heard Plunge's instructions. Reach out to him.
Hit me in DMs on Twitter or Discord, and we'll get all situated.
We are going to do.
Your cool cat is a good center circle piece. It looks
It
good.
is
It really
nice.
is. That
Thank
is
you.
nice.
I'm just the branding's
Cool
locked
cut.
down.
Nice.
Eagle putt. There you
Nice.
go. Congratulations. There you go, Tigbo, in the chat,
Shot.
still
Look
chilling.
at Eagle putt.
Eagle putt.
I've given some shit to Eagle putt.
Really?
Yeah. Bunch of Kyle Lowry's.
Yeah. I love how we all have like very long, expansive histories with everyone in the chat. You're like, oh yeah, I actually got drinks with him back in '95. Yeah. Okay. And this is what we are going to do finally. Eric, I believe, were you bullshitting me? Did you say you had a Cool Cats pack?
I have a Cool Cats pack and 2 playoff packs.
Okay.
Same
Like
codes.
that. We are doing a walk-off Cool Cats pack tonight.
Wow.
And then DMang, you said you had a playoff pack, right?
I do.
All right, guys.
Wow.
Well, it
I
is
do.
time. We're going to open up some packs. You know what we do around here. Yo, 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 what up? It's DJ Pete over Zat. Welcome to the club. We didn't think things were going to get popping tonight, but it's about to get lit. Behind door number 2, it's a 3-pointer. 1325, Kevin Durant. We're going to get a LaMelo. We're going to get a Luka. We're going to get a LeBron. Click the reveal. Let's go. God damn it. I don't need another layup. To the window. To the wall. The De'Aaron Fox stripped down my ball. 293 assists. Let's go. 293. Everybody get their drinks. Let's get a cheers tonight before we open up these nice packs. Cheers, cheers. Shout out to Zakarian and Plunge for hopping in the club. We didn't miss a beat tonight. Really appreciate you guys joining us. And of
Thanks for
course,
having us.
Zakarian, are you still rolling every morning? I noticed you flexed
So-
one to an afternoon stream.
No,
recently.
we are straight up afternooning now. We are afternooning because the summer schedule changed. So 3:30 Eastern every weekday. 3:30
Oh,
Eastern.
I love it. No one is working harder in the Top Shot content space.
Not
than Zakarian.
necessarily smarter, but definitely harder.
And Plunge, what's going on over here? You got the plunging going with your goons, Taylor.
The Coon Squad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Chugs and Bugs. What's
Thursday
going on?
nights. Yeah, so we
Yeah.
go Thursday nights, 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central. Oh, excuse me, 6:30 Pacific. Every Thursday. Yeah, you kind of kicked us off the Tuesday squatter corner, so we had to switch gears, which is fine. But I'm not salty about it, I promise.
Yeah, I mean Tuesday's just so juicy. You go up against the NBA Finals. It's awesome.
Yeah, so we got that going on. Should be a good week this week.
NBL, you floaty. What's going on? You got when flotation device merch? I mean, seriously.
They're coming. The wings are coming. I'll do 2 final thoughts on State of the Union. One is in terms of things that I would be okay with TopShot doing. I think burning and trade-ins are actually kind of user-friendly. Ryan made a comment in the chat, and I think he's right. I am scared that if we NFT TopShot too much, we go too far in that direction, it'll more scare off new users than the current user base. I think the current user base would love it. I think new users would hate it. Overall, final point is I would like people to kind of look at TopShot in a vacuum outside of your account value and see the strides they've made. Yes, it sucks. Account values are down. It's horrible. It's real money. Could be spent on valuable things. And that's awful. But I also think TopShot's heading in the right direction and doing good things. And so try and separate those two, make constructive criticisms, but try to avoid the TopShot is dog shit because my account is down line of thinking.
There you go. I mean, literally all NBL is asking for is just can we have a marginally higher level of discourse, which I think is a reasonable request.
Yes. And that's it. I'm done.
All right, DMang. I mean, I don't want to make assumptions that you know how to screen share, but I don't see your screen in the hopper here. So
All right. Sorry, I should have got that.
He's cracked packs on my stream before, so he should
Wait.
know.
DMang,
Wow.
you're just going around town, just ripping packs on any fucking person's stream. Like, what's going on over there?
I do stream around a bit. I'm sorry. I do stream around. A
God,
little
you
bit.
just show up to tennis courts in Philly. You're on Plunge's show. I mean, you really get around.
You know, you got to keep an active lifestyle.
Okay, get your screen share up. But I feel dirty. I'm just gonna let you know that right now. Yeah, and as DMang is doing this, I will give instructions. We want to continue to let people know. Not only will Team Hold be in Vegas, Club Top Shot is going to be in Vegas. We have booked our flights. We've started to book our hotels. We are all going to be out there. We're still working on details if we can pull off a live show. At the very least, we will have a meetup. We're going to Summer League on Sunday. I believe it's the 15th, Mike.
I think 15th is correct. I'm confirming right now. Yes.
Yeah.
15th.
Yeah, so Sunday the 15th, we're going to Summer League if you want to get tickets for that. The 16th, we'll hopefully be playing some hoops, hopefully doing a live show, a meetup. But anyone a part of the Top Shot fam is down to hang out. And we'll have some more details later with some actual logistics for that stuff, but wanted to continue to put that on your guys' radar. I know Plunge is too afraid of the heat to make it out there in August, though.
Where are you staying, though? Where are you staying, Pete?
We might be staying at the Cosmo, Mike.
Wow.
Marriott points, baby.
Wow. Is there a Marriott on the Strip?
No, Cosmo is the only place that you can redeem Marriott points on the Strip.
There you go.
And it's the only place that has balconies on the Strip, which is highly recommended.
Also true.
Okay,
I'm impressed that you know this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is Collins BK and how do we get a room?
Oh, yo, hey, Collins BK. Shout out Collins BK. I don't know if I'm allowed to do this, but he hooked us up with some MGM situations for.
You're getting influencer hotel rooms?
We're paying for him, but he's Collins BK is the real deal. So get Collins BK.
DMs are open.
What does this mean, Frank? I'm gonna seem like an old man at the Cosmo.
It's a young man's game, Pete. You're what, 33, 34?
Pete's got real golden nugget vibes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go work on my traps. And
that's a good vibe for you.
Let's see this. Okay, all right, DMang. You have shared audio. Wow, I didn't even have to give you the look at this collection you're sitting on here. Whoa, you got a cool Cats too?
I have the 1778. I am holding.
Oh, it's the Curry?
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yes. Yeah, the Curry. Yes.
Yeah.
Holding the Curry.
Imagine being able to hold like that.
Mike, your entire show name is called Team Hold. It doesn't.
Yeah, I hold them after I open them.
This is a real achievement. I'm a pretty impatient person, and there's like a nice dopamine rush opening these packs. Like it's
incredible.
It's hard. Yeah.
Wow.
Eric, what playoff pack are you are you opening a playoff pack as well?
No. Eric is doing Cool Cats. It is a Cool Cats kind of night.
All right, so I can do what do we think? Series 1,
whatever you want. Whatever you're in the mood for.
All right, we'll go with
Did you say
this
Series 1? Did you say that?
Was that? I'm not Series 1. The drop the first pack or the second pack.
Gotcha.
All right,
sorry.
Series 2 release.
I don't want to. Yeah. No Series 1 here. I came in February. It was a shit show.
No, they're only doing like 19 or 20 playoff moments, right? It's not a billion.
I would hope so.
I thought it was low number. I don't know off the top of my head, but I thought it was
too soon. I'm sorry, guys. Too soon. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
sorry, guys.
No over.
We were gonna keep them low, so there's no. Yeah.
All right, DMang, let it rip. Go. 9042. DeAndre,
let's go.
We're talking about 8.
I love this dude.
Why more expensive?
He should be more expensive.
Oh, look at that.
Here we go.
Very nice.
Oh, finally. Javis Bertans, baby.
The moment
he was a mess this year. What a mess.
Yeah, I love that they gave him a dunk, too. That's his only dunk in his career. Okay. Killing. There we go. Some edges.
That's a cool pass.
Nice pass.
Nice pass.
Rookie to rookie.
Okay.
Ooh,
I love Killian Hayes.
That's a nice
that
book. I
moment.
like that one.
That's a cool one.
Solid pass.
Yeah, we'll take it. It's a dub. It's a dub.
DMang, you want to do another? Or are we gonna
I'll
head
do
to the-
another. Yeah,
All
I'll
right,
go
let's
another.
do one more. Let's do one more from you here.
You only have like 19 or 20 packs left. Just
I can see in his eyes. He wants to take these to the grave with him. I can tell.
I want to go back to this one here.
Okay.
Here
Another
we go.
playoffs plaque. Let's
Release
do it.
1 and 2 is to which I was referring earlier. All right. So we got release 2 now.
Yeah.
I get so excited you had a series 1.
I was too.
All right, we got 5 moments.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna go right
Taco Tuesday here at Plus Top Shot.
there.
Nice little step through. Slow motion.
What kind of minutes is Taco going to get at Summer League?
Oh,
Not
Summer
enough.
League is
Wanted
making good minutes.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right.
We need Dwayne Bacon one time. Give me some magic. Oh, Matuidi.
Okay.
Throw it down. Is that the playoff moment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Top Shot would be hearing from DMang's lawyer if it wasn't a Top Shot moment.
Words.
Nice.
I like that works. I like that works.
Yeah, I'm on him.
Dunks are so epic.
Hey, look at that rotation by Wiseman.
Nice. All right.
Oh, some more Detroit. Killing.
Another Killian.
Another one.
The moment's
on
so
the
nice, you got to get it twice,
That's
DMang.
Get it on the marketplace.
All right. Ticket.
$2. Got it.
Playoff moment.
Hell yeah.
I like it.
On Tyrese is nice. Oh.
Kyrie thought he had something there too.
Nice packs.
Nice.
That was
He's
my
so
brother
good.
too.
That was
He's
very
so
nice.
good. Do we see that? What happened at the end of the game?
Oh, is there a game going on?
Suns are up 14 now.
Oh, Suns.
Hey, real quick,
Suns
DeAndre
at four.
Ayton,
Suns at
18
four.
and 18. DeAndre 18 and 18.
Look at that, man. Why is he so
Jonah.
cheap, Mike? Why is he
Just
so
saying. I'm just saying, guys.
cheap? Okay. All right, Eric. It is time. We're gonna do a walk-off Cool Cats pack. It's Cool Cats night. It's the best soundtrack on all of the packs.
Which Cool Cats is it?
Which Cool Cats is it, Eric?
It's drop 3. It was like a
Okay.
The Jokic? Is it the Jokic?
I don't even remember. I bought like a base pack and I only got 2 moments in it, and they did this whole customer service thing where they gave everybody that got only 2 moments a Cool Cats.
Wait, I didn't know that was a thing. You had a base pack with 2 moments in it?
Yep.
Dude,
Man.
that's rare, dude. That's
That's
Not great.
yeah, dude. I feel like you gotta open something else. That's
No, I got 2 playoff packs if you want. I mean,
No,
I was just kidding. I was
Cool
kidding.
Cats
No,
night. It's Cool Cats
at
night.
some point, like in the last couple of months, like I think Jacob when he came on or something, like gave us a Cool Cats pack to open to give out. The Cool Cats 1 packs, they're unbelievable. Like the
Yeah.
stuff that's in there, because it's all the 15,000s, like
Yeah.
really good stuff from early on. There's some 75,000s, there's some 4,000 rookies, and there's like the 5,000 Cool Cats. Like it's all fire. They're all like $400 or $500 packs.
and there were no queues for that. Those are just emails.
right.
They're like, hey, did
Well,
you fill out
I
this
mean-
Google form?
Yeah, if you were lucky enough to get in. I know there were some people that got 5 in that drop, which
Too many.
that would have been really nice to be able to get a Luca for free.
Seriously. All right, Eric. Last time you attempted a screen share on this show, you literally ended up in the ER after. Like not even a bit.
this is the gold medal for the walk-off shot and Woolman's ass. So gold medal right now.
There you go, gold medal. So Eric, have you taken the necessary precautions? You're not going to get an earbud stuck in your ear tonight.
Yeah, they're good. They're good tonight.
Okay, because that was a very traumatic experience for everyone. If you're in the Deposit Kingdom Discord,
It's a nice experience for me. I mean,
yeah, we won't get into that. Eric literally has one of his roles in the Discord is earbud trauma survivor. So it's a night that lives in infamy here in the Deposit Kingdom. Also, shout out to our sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. They continue to have they got the best ball contest going. They got the $5 best ball contest going now. The puppy, they got slow drafts, fast drafts. The puppy drafts are filling so unbelievably fast. It is insane. It is going to fill in probably 3 weeks. So get on Underdog, use promo code Pete, have lots of fun on there. And we're going to walk it off tonight with a Cool Cats pack on Cool Cats night. Belair shared the screen successfully. Let's do this.
for once. I remember I was on Plunge's show a while back, and
Wait, you've been on Plunge's show?
What?
Everyone's getting around.
Wow.
The
and
plunging.
I couldn't share my screen with audio because again I was using Firefox, but I've cured my Crohn's disease. So
Am I the only one that's not been on Plunge's stream? This is
You need
disgusting.
a better booker, Pete.
Same, dude. And to talk to my agent.
Yeah, look at this.
and as you can see,
Yeah,
me and
we got
MDL are
a
lifelong
1.5
Knicks
on
fans.
waiting list.
All right, Eric. How many moments do we have in this pack?
I have no idea.
God, I
Five,
can't wait
right?
to
Is
hear
it
this
5?
music.
Oh, there's 3.
Maybe it'll be like a really big.
Oh,
DeAndre, let's go.
Kyle Anderson.
Slow-mo.
Yeah,
Slow-mo.
I love watching him. It's so good.
Best nickname in sports right now.
Yeah. I wish they had more of a slow-mo play, like a traditional
No.
slow-mo play.
Or at least give him some slow-mo.
Wow, if they slowed down the footage, that would be amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, then,
Yeah, they could have some better Randall highlight than that.
They definitely could.
this is over Trae Young.
Ooh, give me some jog. Oh, some more slow-mo.
Double up. I love it.
There we go. You played it perfectly, though. Sabonis.
The bonus.
All right, guys. Thank you to Plunge. Thank you to Zakarian. Thank you to DMang. Thank you to Blair. Thank you to Mike. We will see you guys next week. We're here every Tuesday. Thanks to Underdog Fantasy. I'm Pete.